like a lamb to the slaughter, led me to this place, took away everything I brought here, you left me to my face.
Scalpel.
Saw the eyes of a stranger, saw the glint of a blade, but I didn't see the danger till
it is more swabs here, and sharpish.
When I call, you don't hear me. When I speak, you don't understand. When I try to explain, you just turn away. Some things don't turn out as you plan.
We present Cutting Edge, a three-part serial by John Harvey, with Tom Georgeson as Nottingham-based, jazz-loving Detective Inspector Charlie Resnick.
Resnick. Where? Yeah, I'll be right there.
When I call, you don't hear me. When I speak, you don't understand. When I try to explain, you just turn away. Some things don't turn out as you plan.
Silito Ward, charging us Doherty speaking. Dr. Fletcher. I'm afraid he's busy at the moment. No, I can't say, but maybe not too long. Yep. I'll be sure to give him the message, don't worry. Karen Adams, yep. Okay now. And you have a good evening. What's left of it?
I'd like you to take a look at this new admission, Doctor. It's probably a stroke. One of the neighbours alerted the police. Poor chap had been on his kitchen floor for 2 days.
How old?
70.
I'll clock him in the morning.
He's going to need fluids. You'll have to put a Ventolon in tonight.
Your Carl could do that, surely.
You know as well as I do, Doctor, that's against policy.
And you know how many hours I've been on duty without a proper break?
Ooh, no more than 17 or 18.
21.
I'll see if Carl can't give you a hand.
All that time on the kitchen floor, he wasn't exactly in danger of fading away. He must weigh close to 17 stone.
Lift was jammed, apparently. Took 2 paramedics and a couple of police to ferry him down the stairs.
It'd be difficult enough to find a decent vein through all this fat, but hypothermia, shock, he's peripherally shut down.
Isn't it worth trying the back of the hand?
I suppose. If I could persuade my eyes to focus, that might help too. Oh, damn, now I've punctured the edge of the vein.
Here, let me get a tourniquet on it, then you can try again. Not as if you missed by much.
Thanks.
There was a call for you earlier, by the way. Karen, was it?
Oh, God.
Seems she was expecting you a good couple of hours ago.
I should have phoned.
New, isn't she? I don't recall hearing her name before.
She's a student. 19.
And you met her at a dance, don't tell me.
It's where you meet yours, is it, Carl?
Not exactly.
Nurse!
There, you'll be all right now. Just remember to release the tourniquet in time.
Okay, you bugger. In you go. Ah, I got you. Oh, God. Oh, just what I needed.
Managing.
Does it look like it?
It's simply a matter of closing off the cylinder sharply before the blood sprays.
Exactly. Well, when you've cleaned him up, he'll want 1,000 ml of natural saline over 24 hours.
Well, where are you going?
Once I wash this lot away, off duty. Good night, Star. Karen? Hi, it's Tim. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. I'm on my way. No, I'll cut across the bridge. 10 minutes tops. Just get the wine open, okay? Yeah, you too. Bye. Okay, a little Wagner to help us on the way.
Tim Fletcher. Keep me waiting all night and then stand me up at the last moment. See if I care. All the more for me.
What we got then, Graham?
Junior doctor, sir. Tim Fletcher. Someone had to go at him 2/3 of the way across the footbridge. You can see where he tried to get as far as his end doors. Never made it, poor sod.
He's all right.
He's alive, if that's what you mean. Had to have someone carving bits out of you with a sharp implement. Couldn't pick a better place, I suppose. One of the nurses on the way home almost fell over him, sounded the alarm. He's lost a lot of blood, that's for certain. Nasty blow to the head, too. Could have been when he fell.
Somebody's with him?
Aside from half the NHS, you mean? Ah, Patel.
And the weapon, I don't suppose there's any sign. What? Oh, what is it, Kevin?
Found this in the grass alongside the road. Scalpel, isn't it?
Good lad.
You don't reckon it's some surgeon clearing out his pockets on the way home?
There, around the handle, along the back of the blade. That's fresh blood, Graham.
Nurse, excuse me.
Staff nurse.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wondered if I might ask you about Dr. Fletcher.
And you are?
Detective Constable Patel.
You realise you're not going to be able to speak to him now?
Yes, of course. That's why I wanted
You
to...
want something to write in your little black book?
If you could spare the time.
OK. There are cuts to the face, neck, arms and hands, quite severe. The worst affected area is the rear of the right leg. The wounds have been cleaned and lignocaine will have been injected prior to stitching. A drip was set up to replace the lost blood with plasma expanders. After cross-matching, this plasma has been replaced by 2 units of packed cells. In addition to all this, Dr. Fletcher will have been given injections of intramuscular pethidine to help control his pain. How will that do?
Fine. How's he feeling?
How do you think?
Detective Constable Lynn Kellogg speaking.
Yeah, Detective Constable Patel.
No, he's not here.
Hey up, Kevin. Tea mashed.
Stew, more like, Sarge.
Fast fill kettle again, lad. 8 to start the day. We'll have a good strong cup of tea.
Right, Sarge.
OK, now let's have a bit of quiet.
Ah, right. Tim Fletcher. Junior doctor attacked on the bridge over the ring road on his way home last night. Last reports suggest his injuries aren't as bad as first maybe they seemed. At least he's off the critical list, which means we can talk to him, see how much he remembers. Might not be very much at all. Huh? Meantime, we're stuck as far as motive is concerned. He had £950 in a small wallet, in his back pocket, 3 credit cards, nothing taken. Most likely then, we can rule out robbery.
Unless whoever did it panicked.
Yeah, a possibility, Kevin. But there's something about the nature of the attack that doesn't sit right for a simple mugging.
And the weapon, sir?
Lynn?
A scalpel. I mean, surely there's some specific connection with the hospital, I mean.
Someone had crossed swords with, maybe, on the job.
Well, how Fletcher got on with his colleagues, Graham, something we'll have to find out.
But I was thinking, if whoever attacked Fletcher had followed him from the hospital, what was to stop him from lifting a scalpel there and then? I doubt they lock 'em up like they're the crown jewels.
Well, the way things are going in the NHS, Graham, soon only be one. I'll have to pass it round between them.
About the scalpel, sir. I don't suppose there's anything yet from forensics?
Well, later today, Dipak, but from the smudge marks in the blood, I'd say whoever did this was wearing gloves.
And are we reckoning there was only one person involved?
Footmarks on the surface of the bridge seem to bear that out, yeah? We'll get more details from the scene of crime. Meantime, we need to contact as many as possible of the staff who were working late last night. Graham, organisation of that down to you.
Right.
Dipak, I want you to liaise with the hospital security, see if they noticed anyone unusual hanging around. Oh, and get a look at their closed-circuit TV. Run back through last evening's tapes.
Yes, sir.
Right. Lynn, Fletcher's girlfriend at the university. Carew, is it?
Karen Adams.
Right. Apparently, he was on his way to see her when the attack took place. It's possible she might not even know yet what's happened. You and Kevin track her down, see if she can shed any light. I'll talk to Fletcher, and then try and get a word with the consultant. What he's got to say about the wounds might give us some clearer picture. Right, any more questions?
No.
Okay, let's get about it.
Karen Adams?
Yeah?
Detective Constable Naylor. This is Detective Constable Kellogg.
Something's happened, hasn't it? What's happened? Tell me. Oh, God, it's Tim. It is, isn't it?
Yes, but he's all right. I promise you he's all right. Now, why don't we just go inside and we can explain?
When he never turned up, I just thought, I don't know, either they grabbed him back for something important, an emergency, or he decided he was too knackered after all. Wouldn't be the first time.
Have you been seeing him long?
Not really, a couple of months.
But it's serious.
Sort of.
Whoever you were seeing before, Dr. Fletcher, was that serious too?
The only thing he was serious about was anatomy and fantasy football.
Not you?
Sometimes, when it suited him.
Is this him here? The photo by the pool?
Mm-hmm.
He was a doctor too?
Medical student, second year.
And you dumped him for the real thing?
I never thought about it that way, and besides, what makes you think it was me that dumped him?
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
The student. What's his name?
Carew. Ian Carew.
You've got his address?
Of course, but what? Oh, come on. You're not serious. You think Ian might have attacked him because he was jealous?
It happens.
Yeah, but not with men like Ian.
What about men like Ian?
The only person they really love is themselves.
So, how are you feeling?
I've been better.
Are you up to answering a few questions?
If I can. There's not a whole lot I can tell. Whoever it was that did this, I hardly saw them at all.
What do you mean, them?
Oh, no, that wasn't what I meant. It was only one person. I'm pretty sure of that.
Oh. Was it, what was it, a man, woman, could you tell?
A man. At least, I think so. I've no way of being sure. All I saw, it happened so fast. Whoever it was wearing black. Black sweater, trousers, a black balaclava over his head.
Yeah, was he tall? I mean, was he tall or well built, you know?
Oh, taller than me. Close to 6 foot. And strong. When he hit me, I nearly went through the wall. That's it. I can't remember another thing, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Carl Doherty, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
And you were working with Tim Fletcher last night before he went off duty?
The last few hours, yes.
How did he seem?
Tired. Shattered, really. Off to see his girlfriend, though, just the same.
Get on with him okay, do you? Normal run of things?
Yeah, most everybody does. Nice enough bloke, Tim. For a doctor. No, seriously, people like him. What happened, it's a real shock. I expect it's a bit like when one of your lot comes in for it. Everyone rallies round. Tim Fletcher's got Bernard Salt, the senior consultant, seeing to him. About the only time before this I've known Mr. Salt come in outside his scheduled hours was when Princess Di popped by to hug AIDS patients, bless her.
Ah, Tom.
Tim.
How are we today? Feeling better?
A little.
Good, that's the spirit. If you cut us, do we not bleed? Gave the lie to all those buggers who think we're made of stone, eh? Anyway, a young chap like you should heal quickly. Soon be ready for a spot of physio. What do you think?
Yes, Mr. Salt.
Excellent, excellent. Back at the grindstone. No time at all.
Idiot.
See up.
Careful, he's sticking it in the saucer.
You don't really reckon him for it, do you? The boyfriend?
Don't see why not. I mean, he's got to be at least a possibility.
Well, because he's a medical student, you mean?
That and the fact he clearly thinks he's God's gift. Can see it in those photographs, body hair and biceps and that. Isn't this your lucky day? Smile. Sort that's born with a silver condom in his back pocket.
Oh, Jesus, you've really got it in for him, haven't you?
He's a type.
And from what you both said about him, hardly the type to get upset over one woman when he can have his pick of the rest.
Maybe.
Mind you, even half awake and looking like she'd been dragged through a hedge backwards. She wasn't the sort you'd pass up in a hurry.
Fancy her then, did you?
Any bloke would.
Any married bloke, Kevin?
Oh, leave it out.
You, Kevin, you.
No harm in looking, right?
Wrong, Kevin. That's where it all starts.
Helen, how many more times are we going to have to go through this?
As many times, Bernard, as is necessary to make you see sense.
Your sense. Always you. You. Like so many women, you can't see beyond your own little world.
Oh, God, Bernard, you can be a pompous...
Mr. Salt, Detective Inspector Resnick, your secretary said this would be a good time to catch you.
Of course, of course. The sister was just leaving. Thank you, Helen. I'll see you in theatre tomorrow morning, 11 sharp. Inspector, take a seat, please. I could probably rustle up some coffee if you wish.
No, thanks. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Straight down to business. Excellent. A man after my own heart.
Tim Fletcher, how well did you know him?
Oh, a pleasant enough young man, I'd say. He's been attached to my team for some little time. My secretary could furnish you with the exact details.
Not the kind of man to make enemies, then?
I did know him socially, of course, but that wouldn't have been my impression, no.
So you've no idea what might have motivated such an attack?
Sheer thuggery aside, you mean? Apparently it wasn't greed.
Was there nothing here to make you think this attack was any different from any other random attack?
I'm not sure.
But you know the weapon was a scalpel. I mean, it wasn't a Stanley knife.
Of course. Well, yes, I suppose there was evidence of what might be called a degree of expertise. The cuts to the face and upper body, those were fairly indiscriminate, quite deep some of them, but ultimately none too serious. The leg, however, that's a different matter. The blade had been driven with some force into the gluteus maximus near the upper section of the thigh, and then drawn down through the gluteal muscles to the hamstring. And he didn't stop there. There was a second major incision, which runs the length of the calf between ankle and knee.
With these wounds, will he walk again?
Oh, yes, I think so.
But they do suggest a particular degree of intent.
Inspector, I can't possibly speculate.
Of knowledge, then? Anatomy, physiology?
Perhaps, but one which any member of the St. John's Ambulance Brigade might be expected to have. Anyone with access to a good library and half an hour to spare.
How about strength and a steady hand? Don't they count for something in a case like this?
Indeed, Inspector. I shouldn't be much good at my job without them.
Cheerful, Graham.
Wife's Russian class been cancelled. Outbreak of influenza. Means I should get a proper dinner instead of one of them Mars and Sparks jobs staring me in the face from the microwave.
You came in to tell me that?
No, I had a call from Patel. One of the security cameras out of the hospital picked up this bloke in a balaclava round about the time Fletcher was set upon. Hanging round near the entrance, close by that set of steps leading up to the bridge.
There's no chance he obliges by whisking his hat off at the cameras, I dare say.
Too shy by half.
Well, let's get it off to the lab, eh? See how much we can get it enhanced. Might give us something, even if it's only confirmation.
I see forensic came up a blank on the scalpel, gloves like you said, and only Fletcher's blood.
Scene of crime seemed pretty certain the attacker was wearing bog standard trainers pretty well worn into the bargain, but there might be clear enough of a pattern for identification.
If we come up with originals before he burns them or floats them off downriver on the Trent.
Do you know, that's what I like about you, Graham. Your unflaggingly optimistic disposition.
Funny that. Wife says much the same.
Debbie?
Debbie!
Jesus.
Debbie, you up there? Debbie!
Oh.
Debbie.
Where's the baby? Is she in there with you? Is she... Debbie, what's going on? Deb? You okay? Where's the baby, Debbie?
What?
Where's Phoebe?
Who cares?
Where is she?
At my mother's. Is that so wrong? Is it? Well, what's wrong with that, Kevin? Why is that so terrible?
What's wrong is that's where she was yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that. With your bloody mother.
She's Phoebe's grandmother. It's only natural.
But you can't stand the sight of your own baby. Don't want to pick her up, touch her, look at her. Not even when she cries.
Kevin!
Especially when she cries.
Kevin, please. I get tired. You know I get tired. I can't help it. Please, I can't. I just can't. Why won't you understand?
Look, I understand that when I come back after a hard day's sodding graft, you're still in bed and the house is like a pigsty. I understand that if I want to see my own kid, I've got to phone to make sure I've got your precious mother's permission, then get back in the car and drive halfway across this sodding city. There, Debbie. How much more do you want me to bloody understand? Oh, hello, staff. How long have you been standing there?
Not too long. And you don't have to call me staff, you know. Especially not now.
Sarah, then.
That's better.
You couldn't...
Prop you up a bit, yeah, Inspector. You realise officially I was off duty ages ago. It's overtime, this. Unpaid.
Thanks.
Nothing else?
Thanks, I'm fine.
Well, I'll look in tomorrow.
Sarah?
Yeah?
You off home now?
Soon?
Walking?
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah, Dizzy, for goodness sake, be quiet, will you? God, you sound as though you haven't been fed for a week. Whereas in truth it's closer to 30 minutes. Of course, with a memory span like yours, eh? There. And now, Dizzy, you stick your nose in that cheese, you'll get burned. Well, you see, yes, serves you right. Come on now, scram! Resnick. Yeah. Where? Yeah, all right. 10 minutes, 15 at most. No, not till I'm there, yeah? Dipak, what's happening?
He's shut himself upstairs. Seems he's got an axe. Threatens if anyone comes near or tries to open the door, he'll use it.
Okay, let's see if we can't get it sorted.
This is Jane.
Wesley, yes, I know. Jane, how are you?
A little concerned about the gentleman who professes to be your friend. To say nothing of the 3 others he's got locked in there with him.
Well, he's not threatened to harm them too, has he?
So far only himself.
With an axe?
He assured me that if I or anyone else tried to enter, he'd use it on himself. I think he was planning to start with his foot.
Yeah. Which room's he in?
The library.
The library?
Well, the Reader's Digest and a few Dolly and Wilbur Smiths.
Ed Silver.
Who in God's name's that?
Charlie Resnick.
You're a damn liar.
Ed, why don't you open the door, let me in?
Too late, Charlie.
For what?
Everything.
Ed, I'm coming in.
I must have looked up from the inside.
All right, Dipak. 1, 2. 1, 2. Ed?
Charlie.
Lively crowd.
It's a library. What do you expect?
You know, the last time I saw you in front of a crowd, it was, what, 10 years ago?
11.
That club up on...
Carlton Hill.
Yeah. Closed now.
Yeah, I dare say.
You opened with, I Got Rhythm, yeah. So fast you nearly lost the bass player before the end of the first chorus, yeah?
Yeah, a kid. He settled down.
So did you. It was a good night. You were good.
Oh, it was bloody incredible.
Yeah. That plaster across your face,
broken nose.
You're not falling off the stage again, have you? That time I read about in Southampton.
Yeah. These days, Charlie, no bugger will let me near enough to a stage to fall onto it.
Ah, well. You know, the axe, Ed.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with the axe?
Well, I'll do it this time, Charlie. I think I will.
Come on. Why not pass it to me instead, eh? Come on. I'll give you a hand down. We could go back to my place. Chat. Maybe get something to eat.
Oh, Charlie. Yeah, I think I'd like that. She's a lovely woman, that.
Jane?
Lovely. How old do you think she is, Charlie? Tell me that.
30. 35.
Too young for me then, do you reckon?
Not a bit of it.
Yours?
House or cats?
Either.
Both.
Christ. There's scores of little buggers.
If I'd known that, I'd never let go of the cleaver.
Polish vodka okay?
Yeah. Cheers, Charlie. See? Barely a shake.
So, what are you doing here in the city, Ed?
Yeah, I can't remember. maybe I'll come to see you. Oh, Pepper.
Yeah.
Lovely player. Straight life, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Knew as much about that as me, he did. Less. Tired, Charlie.
How's your eyes?
As I remember it, Charlie, didn't you used to have a wife?
Morning, Sarah. Bright and breezy.
Not the way I feel.
Heavy night.
I wish I could say it was. By the time I got home, I was too shattered to do anything but climb into bed.
Ah, but who with?
A very dear but careworn creature called Edward. One ear missing, a glass eye, and totally dependable.
Oh, that Edward. I think I know him too. Oh, I'm not so sure about the dependable.
Hello. How's our prime patient this morning?
Oh, I'm fine. What about you?
Me? Oh, nothing that a week on a health farm wouldn't cure. Why the concern about me?
I don't know. Stupid, I suppose. I was worried, that's all.
Yeah, I can see that. Why?
I kept having these dreams, nightmares, whatever.
About me?
About what happened to you.
What was that?
Oh, look, it's just... You know, what happened to me, I can't seem to stop thinking about it. And, well, last night when you said you were walking home...
You thought the same thing was going to happen to me?
Yes.
Any particular reason? Or were you just fancying the company?
Paranoia, I suppose.
On my behalf?
Everyone's. I mean, whoever did this, as far as I can see, he did it without any reason. No reason at all. Except I happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Until he's caught, who's to say he's not going to do it again?
There was a call from the police. They're coming in to talk to you again. Most probably want to see if you've remembered anything new.
Right. Now we've all seen the tape from the hospital security. Even enhanced, it doesn't show us a great deal we didn't already know.
About as exciting as one of them films on Channel 4.
Nothing much to help with identification. Male, close to 6 foot, as makes no difference, well built. That's as far as it goes. But if we look at the timings, one thing's clear. He was hanging around the area of the bridge for a good 25 minutes before he made any kind of move, which suggests the attack was anything but random. 14 people used the bridge during that time, 11 of them hospital personnel, 7 female and 4 male. Whoever they are, he's not interested.
He's waiting for Fletcher.
Precisely. And Fletcher is late. But look, run forward, Dipak. There. Now, the minute Fletcher's past the entrance onto the bridge from the street, he's on his way.
And out the picture.
True. But it does suggest Fletcher's a specific target, so there has to be a specific motivation.
Professional or person.
And that's what we have to establish as soon as we can.
He's only a junior doctor. A bit like me, I suppose, the bottom of the ladder. It's possible to step on the wrong toes, I know, say the wrong thing. But I wouldn't have thought anything he was involved in would have been important enough to justify this degree of, well, jealousy.
And like we said, none of the hospital staff have got a bad word to say about it.
So it's personal.
Karen Adams' last boyfriend, Carew. Have we managed to contact him yet?
Graham?
Go round at his digs twice, nobody there either time. One of his housemates reckoned he should be in lectures, but when we follow that up, he hadn't been there either.
Done a bunk? Not necessarily. Students skip lectures all the time.
You should know, Dipak, you're the one with the degree.
Mechanical engineering, isn't it, lad? Great help in his job.
OK, Graham, let's chase this Carew down. If he has done a run, we need to know.
Right, priority.
Karen Adams, I wonder if I could go out and talk to her again. No offence, Kevin, but on my own this time.
You just didn't like me fancying her.
I don't give a toss of you fancy, except it might be handy if sometimes it was your wife.
All right. The girl, Lynn, the girl. You think she knows more than she's letting on?
It's just a feeling, nothing definite.
So, aren't you going to invite me in?
Ian, I'm not sure this is a good idea.
No, that's not what you used to say.
God, Ian!
Couldn't wait till we were inside the door before
Ian!
you... Yes?
I'll make you coffee and then you'll have to go.
OK, whatever you say.
I'll have to be instant.
Always did like a quickie.
Stop! Don't talk! You don't understand, do you? You really don't. You think all you have to do, just keep on and on. Sooner or later I'll give in.
Give in?
Look, Ian, I'm sorry, but I think it's better if you go now. I do.
Well, what about the coffee? You're offering
Oh,
me
who cares about the bloody coffee?
My, you are in a mood. Nothing hormonal, I trust. Besides, I don't know what you're getting so worked up about. It's me who should be angry with you.
Don't see why.
Setting the police onto me.
I did no such thing.
Oh, no? Where else did they get my name from? Yellow Pages? Twice they were round at my place wanting to ask me questions. Of course it was you.
Believe me or not, I don't care. But I didn't mention you. One of them, she saw those pictures of you.
Which pictures?
I had them pinned up over there.
And now?
And now I've taken them down.
Oh. Out of sight, but not out of mind, eh?
Ian, look.
You remember how you used to think about me all the time? All those little stories you used to make up in that naughty little mind. Ones you used to tell me late at night when you phoned me from here, this bed.
Ian, don't.
I bet you didn't do that with him. Timmy. I bet he didn't like stories like that. Too straight by half. Oh, but you love them, don't you?
Ian, you're hurting.
You remember the changing room fantasy? Swimming pool fantasy. Burglar fantasy.
Oh,
right. So it is that one. Burglar fantasy #1. I break into the house thinking it's empty and I find you getting ready for bed. Only thing is, you've got a few too many clothes on for that.
No!
Karen, tell me. Tell me what happened.
Nothing.
Have you seen yourself in the mirror, Karen? That isn't nothing. It's all right. It's okay. Really, it's okay. Who was it, Karen? Who was here? Was it Ian? Ian Carew?
Yeah.
What did you say? I couldn't hear you.
Yes. Yes.
Ian Carew?
Yes.
He attacked you?
No.
Someone else did this?
No.
Then it was Ian. He attacked you. He hit you, didn't he?
It didn't mean it.
Sorry, what are you saying? It was an accident. I don't understand.
I mean, it didn't mean to hurt me.
No? Then what did he mean to do? Why was he angry with you? Was it something to do with us, with the police?
It wasn't angry, not really.
Then what? Karen, did Ian Carew have sex with you this morning? Did you make love?
Love?
You had intercourse?
Well, why do you want to know?
You had intercourse?
Yeah.
With your consent?
Does it look like it was with my consent?
He raped you? He raped you?
I suppose so, yeah.
You'll have to come to the station, see a doctor.
Have to?
I think you should, Karen. Please.
I'll pick you up about 7 then.
Excuse me. Ian Carew?
Maybe. Who are you?
Detective Constable Naylor. This is Detective Constable Patel.
Ooh, equal opportunities. That's nice.
We'd like you to come with us to the police station.
What? You're arresting me?
Not unless you think we should.
We'd just like to ask you some questions, that's all.
What about?
I think it's better to go into that at the station.
Fine. Okay. I'll come in later, first thing this afternoon. How's that?
Now, if you wouldn't mind.
Do you realise if I miss this lecture on gross edema, some poor chap down the line might die of heart failure?
I'm sure someone else will lend you their notes. Now, shall we go?
What's he like?
Cocky sod.
Oh, Graham, you take first crack at him. See if you can't bring him down to earth a bit.
You want me to question him about the girl?
I don't think so, no, not yet. Lynn, what do you think?
She's still in the rape suite, being examined. It's still not clear which way she's going to go.
OK, stick to Fletcher for now, Graham. Let's see how far we get there.
Right. Come on, kid. Let's get this.
Lynn. The girl. How's she bearing up?
Shaky.
You don't think she'll press charges?
I wouldn't bet on it.
Ex-boyfriend. Not always easy to prove, especially if she's not going to give it her full weight in court.
You're not saying it might be better to let it drop?
If the evidence bears out that she was raped, no, of course I'm not. What I am saying, there's a danger if she's pushed too hard into pressing charges and then changes her mind. Anyway, you use your judgment.
Right.
I thought you wanted to ask me some questions as a matter of urgency.
So we do, Sunbeam, so we do.
Police turning up at the medical school, very embarrassing. And then you leave me cooped up in here for the best part of an hour.
Sorry, Doc, but at least you had a nice cup of tea.
It was stewed and it was cold and some idiot had stirred at least 3 spoonfuls of sugar into it.
Just trying to keep you sweet.
Look, if you're going to keep me here any longer, I shall insist on seeing a solicitor.
Insist away?
Are you saying that I won't be allowed to do so?
I don't think that's what I'm saying. Did you hear me say that, Kath?
No, Sarge.
There you are. Do you know any solicitors?
My family has friends in practice.
I'll bet.
What's that supposed to mean?
Likely not a lot.
Look.
No, if you really want a solicitor, you feel you need a solicitor at this stage.
What do you mean at this stage? What stage?
All the wells, Kath.
So they say, sir.
I'm sorry, but this isn't a joke.
No, it's not. There's a man in hospital, near 100 stitches, bits and pieces of tubing sticking out all over his body. Nobody said it was a joke.
What's that got to do with me?
You tell us.
Where do you think you're off to?
I'm here of my own volition. I can leave at any time.
Any time?
So, what's to stop me?
You tell me. Right, that's a lot more sensible. Now, where were you between 10 and 11:30 Saturday night? Claims to have been at the Irish Centre on London Road. Student night, some kind of disco. Arrived, he thinks, around 10 after a few pints at the Wheat Sheaves on the way. Left 1:30, 1:45, cab home, fast off by 1:15.
Do you believe him?
About as much as when the doctor told the wife's old man he had nothing to worry about with his prostate. Poor bugger was dead inside of 12 months.
Are we getting the alibi checked?
On it now.
Right. We'll let him stew a bit longer. And hope Lynn has some luck with the girl.
We'd help you, Karen, every step of the way. Giving evidence, is that what's worrying you? Or is it something else? Ian, is that it?
What?
Are you worried what he might do? Frightened? Because if you are...
No. No, it's not that, no.
Then what?
It's over. It's happened. That's an end to it.
No, it's not.
It won't happen again.
How do you know? How can you be sure?
You don't think I'm letting him come near me after this?
And if it isn't you? If it's somebody else?
Can't do anything about that, can I?
Yes. You can help us put him away.
Oh. You. It's your job, not mine.
It's your responsibility.
No. No, it's bloody not.
Karen, there are other women out there, other than yourself. Think about them. About what happened to you happening to them.
You think about them. You're so bloody wonderful. You think about them yourself.
If you come back to the station, I'll arrange for a car to take you home.
Doesn't matter.
I really think it would be better.
No, thank you. I'd sooner walk.
Is there no chance she'll change her mind?
I doubt it. And if she did, I don't honestly know if she'd stick with it.
You believe her, though?
Oh, yes.
At least we know he's capable of violence.
Well, Karen would thank you very much for
She's
that.
had her chance.
And that's it.
How do you mean?
We're just going to let him go without so much as a warning. He beat that girl up and raped her.
He'll get a warning.
And that's all.
Look, he had it away with her. A bit of rough stuff, cuts and bruises, without the girl's sworn word. What does it prove?
Oh, come
no
on.
Worse than what goes on between couples all over the city every Saturday night. Consenting adults.
I'm not hearing this.
And I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying how it is.
Oh, fine.
Look. Lawyer or no lawyer, he's not leaving here until I've talked to him, warned him officially, all right?
All right.
OK. Now, Graham, what's the progress? Chasing down his alibi.
Likely not what you'll want to hear. 2 students so far prepared to say they saw him in the Irish, somewhere between the hours they said.
Nothing more definite than that. The Times, I mean.
Not as yet, but it's not looking good.
Your alibi. Bit like a string vest.
Don't wear them. More your style than mine. Besides, what do I need an alibi for?
The time Tim Fletcher was attacked.
I've told you, I don't know him.
You know who he was.
Oh, yes.
And you didn't like him.
I didn't give a toss about him one way or another.
Even after he stole your girlfriend.
He was welcome to her.
Oh, really?
Why not?
Well, I thought you liked her, fond of her. You know.
Fond? No. She was all right?
Yeah. All right enough to go back and see her today.
One for the road.
Oh, so you didn't care when she dumped you for him.
She didn't dump me for him.
I should have thought you'd have been pretty angry.
I was a little pissed off. It passed.
Oh, is that all? Just a little pissed off?
It happens. Doesn't it? You probably know more about it than I do.
I doubt it.
Happily married, then? Silver wedding service on the sideboard, stuff like that?
Nothing to do with you.
Oh. So, you do know all about it? Oh, unless you were the one that left her. What did you want to do to him when you found out?
Hit him.
And did you?
No.
Not ever?
Never.
I bet you wish you had.
Satisfying, is it?
I wouldn't know.
You sure?
Sure as you.
And Karen?
What about her?
Was that why you hit her, preferring somebody else to you?
I don't think you understand, Inspector.
Oh, what's that?
I don't hit women. It goes against the way I was brought up.
Kevin just rang in from the Irish. Woman who works behind the bar Saturday night. She remembers Carew chatting her up while he was buying drinks. Last half of the evening, she says. Makes it sound pretty non-stop. Unless he's parked on a double yellow, we can't charge him with squid.
OK, Greg. Thanks.
Carew's solicitor, sir. She's just about climbing the walls.
Right. I'm in there. Now.
My client...
All your client has to do is get to his feet, wipe that smirk off his face, and listen. Ian Carew, in accordance with Home Office instructions, I am issuing you with a warning as to your future behaviour, especially insofar as it concerns Karen Adams. Although, up to the present, she has declined to press charges, there is little doubt from what she has alleged, and from the results of a thorough medical examination of her injuries, that you are responsible for an assault upon her person.
Really, I'd love to...
Shut it! That girl, Karen Adams, was struck in the face, struck in the body.
Look,
there are photographs! Polaroid photographs showing cuts and severe bruising. And those photographs will remain on file. Your file. And I hope, for your sake, that I never have to refer to them again. You stay away from her. That's my advice. You steer a wide berth. She doesn't want to see you, hear from you, smell your breath. It's over. You leave it be. Listen! A word you've got to learn. No. Oh, it doesn't mean yes, and it doesn't mean maybe. Girlfriend, wife, whatever. No means no. And you understand it any other way, and you're in trouble. Serious trouble. Right? Hi. tea, Miles.
But you've got no real food, Charlie. You know, bangers, bacon, nice pork chop.
I could do you a sandwich.
Oh, come on, Charlie.
An omelette, then. Just as soon as I've looked after the cat.
That big one, the blackie. Bit of meat on him, you know. See, you got a barbecue out in the backyard.
I hear they've arrested somebody, did you know?
Last to hear anything, me.
That's not true, and you know it. I've never known anyone love to gossip as much as you.
Better to pass it on than be the one most of it's about.
Bitch!
It's one of that girl's, you know, Karen. It's one of her exes, apparently.
Ah, hell hath no fury.
In that case, if half what I've heard about you is true, you'd best watch out.
I'm meeting some pals for a drink. Manhattan's. Why don't you come along?
I'd be out of place.
What do you mean? It's the cosmopolitan centre of the universe.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'll take Manhattan, the Bronx and Staten Island too.
And she went off with him. Estate agent. Last I heard, they were living somewhere west of Birmingham. Weekend cottage in Wales.
You not seen her, Elaine?
Not once.
Nothing? No contact at all?
She writes. Once in a while.
Okay then, is she? Getting on okay?
I don't know. Never opened them.
Carl, hang about. You're not going already. Aren't I? You can't go now. No, watch me. Stay and have another. Just one more. Come on. 10 minutes. What difference is that going to make?
We'll never know.
Carl.
Sorry, Paul. I've had enough.
They're all dying, Charlie. Dead or dying.
Who?
Everybody. Clifford, Sandy, Pete, Vernon, Lawrence, Marshall, Tom, all the Browns. All gone. Oh, he was a lovely player, Charlie, that Clifford Brown. That tone, like brown paper crackling. No one else like him.
Maybe not.
You know how old he was when he copped it, Brownie?
26?
25. Just 19, he was in a car crash. Nearly finished him. Almost a year in hospital. Enough to kill you of itself, the way some of those butchers weighed him when they've got you strapped down. Anyway, got over that. All right. Started playing again, making it big, and wallop. Another road accident. Dead. 25.
Yeah.
Poor bastard.
Amen.
So Brownie.
Yeah, God bless.
Hello? Yes, he's here. Don't know who it is, Charlie, but he sounds like he's down a deep end in the baths. Youth over there talking to Patel went in for a slash and found him face down in the urinal. Could have been there for a while. Lad stepping round him, reckoned as he'd passed out drunk.
Any identification?
The wallet's still in his back pocket, not that I needed it. Carl Doherty recognised him from the hospital. He's one of the nurses.
And where is he now?
Somewhere between intensive care and the morgue, I'd reckon.
Saw the eyes of a stranger, saw the glint of a blade, but I didn't see the danger till it was too late. When I call, you don't hear me. When I speak, you don't understand. When I try to explain, you just turn away. Some things don't turn out as you plan.
In episode 1 of Cutting Edge, dramatised from his own novel by John Harvey, Tom Georgeson played Charlie Resnick, Sean Baker, Millington, Kate Eaton, Lynn, Paul Bazeley, Dipak, and Ben Porter, Kevin. Dennis Hawthorne played Mr. Salt, Jane Whittenshaw, Karen, Nicholas Boulton, Carew, John Simm, Dr. Fletcher, and Adrian Scarborough, Carl. Don McCorkindale played Silver, Peter Kenny, Groves, Gillian Bevan, Sarah, Alice Arnold, Helen, Patience Tomlinson, Jane, and Colleen Prendergast, Debbie. Other parts were played by members of the cast. The Cutting Edge song was written by Liz Simcock, played by Trevor Watkis, and sung by Gillian Bevan. The director was David Hunter.
Like a lamb to the slaughter, you led me to this place. You took away everything I brought here, you left me to my fate. Saw the eyes of a stranger, saw the glint of a blade, but I didn't see the danger till it was too late.
We present the second episode of Cutting Edge, a 3-part serial by John Harvey, with Tom Georgeson as Nottingham-based, jazz-loving Detective Inspector Charlie Resnick.
You're all dying, Charlie. Dead or dying.
In episode 1, a doctor and a nurse are being viciously attacked by a scalpel-wielding assailant.
Doherty comes in off the street into the gent, stands here doing the necessary, and then...
Yeah, a bit narrow, Graham. Difficult for someone to sneak up behind him.
Next Doherty had had a few pints, said none too clear, maybe didn't notice.
Ah, or whoever it was attacked him was in one of these cubicles.
Waiting in there for him, you mean?
Aye.
Deliberate then, not a chance attack.
Well, those injuries, a lot of force, anger. Doesn't sound like chance to me.
And the fact that he was working on the same ward as Fletcher. More chance? Coincidence?
A tidy-minded say no. There has to be a connection, but murder, you know Graham well as I, it's really what you call tidy. Well, we'll check it out all the same. There's no sign of a weapon.
Not as yet.
Of course, if it was someone waiting for him back here, someone who knew Doherty well, that opens up another lot of possibilities.
Lovers' quarrel, you mean?
Well, it has been known.
That's all kind. Well, I personally had offer something a bit more romantic. Think we can get outside, leave this to scene of crime? Stinks fair getting up my nose.
You get back to the station, Graham. Set things moving. I'll contact Lynn, see about informing Doherty's next of kin.
Is there somewhere, Mr. Doherty, where we could sit down?
Oh, what is it? You must tell me what it is.
It's about your son, Mr. Doherty.
Carl? Well, something's happened to Carl? He's been arrested?
But what on earth's happened?
I think if we could just go and sit down.
I don't want to sit down.
Mr. Doherty, I'm afraid earlier this evening your son was attacked. He's been taken to the hospital.
Carl?
You know, it would be better if we all sat down, then we can explain.
Would you like us to arrange transport to the hospital, Mr. Doherty?
My wife is
Not
asleep.
for both of you. You'll want to see Carl, talk to the doctors.
My wife can't go.
Yeah, but she is here.
Well, I've told you she's upstairs sleeping. She doesn't sleep well, and I don't like to wake her.
Mr. Doherty.
She mustn't know. She can't.
She'll have to be told, Mr. Doherty.
No.
Would you like me to speak to her for you?
I've told you she can't know.
Can't know what, William? Oh, whatever is it? Who are these people? I woke and you weren't there. I was worried. You're always there. That was when I heard voices. Your voice, William, and someone else's. I thought it was Carl, you know, paying us one of his little visits. A surprise.
What visits?
You know his little visits.
He doesn't make visits. 1 year's end to the next, he scarcely comes near us.
He does, William. Oh, he does. I don't know why you say that.
You know as well as I do.
William, you forget. You do. You forget. It's his age, you know. Getting on. William's memory, it's not what it used to be.
For God's sake, woman!
What?
He's dead!
Who?
No, Mr. Doherty, that's not...
Carl, your precious Carl, he's dead!
No, that's not true.
Mr. Doherty, perhaps you didn't quite understand, but that's not what I said. Carl's still alive.
There you are, you see. There you are, William. What did I tell you? There's been a mistake.
Right, Dipak, Carl Doherty's bedside. I want you there the minute he wakes.
Oh, not again, Sarge. I only just finished babysitting that other bloke.
It's your bedside manner, Dipak. Too much of a natural.
Kevin, you get in there with him. Lynn, you'd best go too. We need to find out who Doherty was working with on his last shift yesterday, anyone he might have talked to, giving any idea where he was going, who he might have been meeting, close friends, habits, you know the kind of thing.
Yes, Sarge.
Right.
Meantime, we'll get pictures circulating, clubs and pubs in the city centre, cab companies, so on.
Still no luck with the weapon?
Nothing so far.
I just had one of the doctors from the hospital on the phone. Cagey, of course, but as far as he's concerned, it seems the majority of Carl Doherty's injuries could have been inflicted with a scalpel.
Our friend in the balaclava, giving the government down, shutting down the NHS.
Either that or a copycat, but like you said, it's difficult not to think there's a connection with what happened to Fletcher. I'll tell you what, let's have those interviews looked at again, the ones from the first attack. See if there's something we could be missing.
Right.
Calvin! What?
You going to let us burn or what?
Usually manage that well enough on your own.
One egg or two?
One.
You may as well have two, they're cooked.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't do that. I only wish you knew how much I hate it when you do that.
What, cook you a good breakfast?
Ask me what I want and then totally ignore what I've said.
Here, bacon, sausage, egg, fried bread.
Eggs.
There's plenty out there sleeping around, you
Who'd
know.
give their eye teeth to sit down in the warm to something like this? I know, I should do. You tell me often enough.
Well, eat. Don't let it get cold. You know, the colleges have started back.
So?
Well, I thought you were going to get yourself enrolled.
I am.
Uh-huh. When?
Not this year, obviously.
When then?
I told you I don't know.
Well, it's your life.
Exactly. It's my life.
Look, all I'm trying to do is give you some advice.
Yeah, every morning the same thing.
Because I can go on and still you don't do anything about it.
And maybe you're the one who should learn something, like trying to keep your mouth shut instead.
That's nice, isn't it? If I'd spoke to my father like that...
Yeah, I felt the back of his hand across your face.
Too right!
You know,
All that good advice they gave you, your old man and your sainted mum. It's no wonder you managed to make such a bollocking of your life.
Oh, aye. Well, just you wait, you clever bastard. See what a go of you make of it.
Me? Oh, yeah,
You
me.
through your morning.
You can
with
see
those
me,
with
got it
John
well
Lynn's
sussed and no
Jill
mistake.
Sky.
That'll be right.
And here's Pamela Lawson with the news.
Don't more
A male
toast?
nurse is
Ah.
fighting for his life this morning
Oh, shit.
after a vicious and seemingly unprovoked attack in the city centre late last night. Carl Doherty, aged 31, is understood to have received multiple stab wounds and is in intensive care.
Where are you going now?
The spokesperson described his condition
You've
this
left
morning
half
as
of it on your
stable, but
plate.
still
So next time, listen to me when I tell you how much I want,
Detective
right?
in charge of the investigation will make no comment confirming or denying any possible link between this attack and that on another member of the hospital staff recently. The victim's parents...
And this was, when did you say, Sarah? About 9 o'clock?
Well, it could have been earlier, but, well, not by much. 22:45.
And Carl was off into town for a drink at this place, Manhattan's?
Yeah. He asked me if I wouldn't go with him, but...
You didn't fancy it yourself?
No. No, not really. Well, you know what those places can be like. Bit of a meat market sometimes. Besides, it's not as if we really mix much outside work, Carl and me. Different friends, you know how it is.
But you got on okay?
With Carl? It'd be difficult not to, he's that easygoing. He always stop, and chat, make some kind of joke. And he's good at his job, too. He's good to be with on the ward. He's got a lot of respect, Carl, a lot of respect.
Not a lot of enemies, then? I mean, you've no idea who might want to do this to him?
None. None at all. Oh, it's horrible, just to think about it.
Yes, Mr. Salt. It is true, we did have someone in for questioning. A medical student. Ian Carew. He'd been involved with Karen Adams. That's the young woman Fletcher was seeing before Fletcher and...
And you thought the green-eyed monster might have goaded him into wreaking revenge?
Something like that.
More the other way round, isn't it, Inspector? Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Isn't that the thing?
Well, I imagine it can work both ways, Mr. Salt.
Of course, you'll be the man to know.
I would?
Petty jealousy, betrayals, violence, murder. The stuff of life, surely, where you're concerned.
We get our share.
Steeped in blood.
No more than you. Less, I should have thought.
Indeed. Some days, elbow deep. But it washes off, Inspector, don't you find? At the end of the day, it washes away.
Wow. I'm not so sure.
Ah, mistake that. Fatal. Taking the job home with you. Especially work like yours and mine. Matters of life and death. Leave them at the door.
Maybe.
You're married, Inspector?
No, not anymore.
Me neither. In fact, my decree absolute came through just last week. Makes a man feel wonderful. Somehow strong. Possessed of all that freedom again. Telling her I wanted a divorce, best thing I ever did.
Carl Doherty.
Yes, Inspector?
I want to confirm what you were saying about the nature of his injuries compared to those sustained by Tim Fletcher. Now, the weapon used was similar.
A scalpel, most likely.
But the injuries themselves...
In some respects, quite different. In young Fletcher's case, whereas some of the scalpel blows seemed to be quite random, those to the face, for instance, and the hands, the manner in which the muscles of the thigh were severed suggested both skill and purpose. With Doherty, all the signs are of something much more frenzied.
The attack was carried out in a public place. And whoever did it must have been aware of the possibility of someone walking in at any minute.
What you say sounds plausible, but it's not for me to conjecture. But I saw Carl Doherty's wounds, Inspector, and if you want my opinion, whoever did this was fiercely angry, in some kind of wild fury.
Like a woman scorned.
Sorry?
Nothing. Carl, he's still hanging on?
Barely. If he gets through the next 48 hours, he might have a chance.
Well, let's hope he makes it. And thank you for your help. Goodbye.
Yes?
It's Sister Minton, Mr. Salt. She wants to know when you can fit her in.
I can't.
It's the third time she's called.
And still out of luck. If there's a fourth, please inform the sister that the only occasion on which I anticipate seeing her in the immediate future is in theatre.
Yes, Mr. Salt.
when at least she'll be safely behind a mask.
C'è una mappa con le cose da vedere. C'è una mappa con le cose da... Sorry, I didn't know you were here.
Oh.
It sounds better with my eyes closed.
Sounded pretty impressive to me, and I had mine open.
Well, even if it sounded like La Traviata, I'm afraid I wouldn't understand much of it. Not yet, anyway.
I don't know if you remember me. DC Lynn Kellogg.
I wasn't in that much of a trance.
I was talking to Sarah Leonard. She said you might appreciate a little company. Though from all these flowers, it doesn't look as though you've been exactly ignored.
The thing you have to realise about hospitals, people send flowers instead of visiting. Not as well as. Helps them to feel less guilty.
And your friend Karen?
Roses. Roses all the way.
I'm sorry. But perhaps she's busy, you know, studying.
And perhaps she's gone back to somebody more able-bodied.
Oh, don't say that.
Oh, I think I was a rarity. Intellectual, I think that's how she saw me. Some kind of white-coated, opera-loving exotic. No, I think Karen liked her men strong and athletic.
Like Ian Carew, you mean?
Oh, you've met him then.
Yeah, God's gift.
And not only to women, medicine too. The kind who sees himself as a cardiothoracic consultant with a brace of BMWs and a harem of adoring women.
Is that what successful consultants go in for?
BMWs?
Harems?
Well, it's been known, one way or another. The stress of the job, isn't that what all these MPs say when they're caught with their pants down?
Police officers too.
We've probably got a lot in common.
Probably. I wanted to ask you about Carl Doherty.
You see, I was right. That's one thing right off. We almost never stop working.
How well did you know him?
Hardly at all, really.
But I thought you were on the same ward.
Some of the time, yes, but the way it works, my attachment is to a consultant, Mr. Salt, as it happens. And although the bulk of his patients are likely to be in the same couple of wards, the others, especially with the bed situation the way it is, well, they could be anywhere.
And you didn't know him socially?
No, not at all.
OK, well, I'd better be getting on. I hope you see something of Karen. If you want to, that is.
Thanks. Come by again.
I'll try.
Mr. Doherty?
Yes?
I thought so. I saw you up by intensive care. It's good to get out, enjoy a bit of fresh air.
You're a doctor?
No, police. Detective Constable Patel. I'm waiting to talk to Carl about what happened.
He's not able to speak?
No.
He was conscious for a little while, they said, after they brought him in, but now...
He'll be all right. He'll pull through. You'll see.
You think so?
Yes, I do.
Because I could never explain it to her. Not adequately. She'd never understand.
His mother?
You understand.
She hasn't been to see him?
Pauline? Oh, no. I shouldn't want her to. Too much of an upset. All that machinery all round the bed. All of those tubes.
Why don't we go and get a cup of tea, eh? In the canteen.
Carl, he got his degree in English. All that Shakespeare, poetry and plays and that. Fat lot of good that's going to do you. I told him, you'll not make a living from the likes of that. And he didn't, of course. With one of his mates, he took off round the world. Australia, Kathmandu. Well, next thing we knew, when he come back, he decided to become a nurse.
And you were pleased? I mean, how did you feel?
Oh, I didn't care. It was up to him. It wasn't as if he was a kid anymore. But Pauline... I remember the day he came round and told us. She was in the kitchen, chopping oranges for marmalade. She always made her own. You can't, she said, not even bothering to look round. You can't. Why on earth not, says Carl. Because you've already got a degree. You're a BA, upper second. I've got the certificate. You're not a student. They've got it wrong. There's been a mistake. She never really understood from that day. And Carl, once he'd finished the training, he came round less and less. It's the disappointment, you see. But he never did more with his life.
Oh, I don't know. I'd have thought being a nurse, it was one of the most worthwhile things you could do.
No, there was the other business as well. But he never turned out the way she wanted. You know, settled down with a nice girl, got married, grandchildren. She cuts them out of her magazines, you know. Pictures of these kiddies. Puts them in frames. And sometimes, when she doesn't think I'm watching, I'll see her talk to them last thing. Give them a good night kiss.
When I wake up, before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you.
Sorry, we're not home for another half an hour.
You the manager?
Derek Fenby, yes. And you?
I'm Detective Inspector Resnick, CID.
Morning, Inspector. What can I do for you? That business last night, I suppose.
Carl Doherty, the man who was attacked with reason to believe he might have been in there earlier.
It's our Maura you'll want to see.
Maura?
Maura Tranter. It was my night off. She was in charge of the bar. Well, she'll be here in, let me see, she should be here before the hour. If you want to hang on, I could get you a drink. A pint if you want.
No, thanks, no. There's other things I can do. I'll be back later.
I'll let Maura know you'll be coming in.
I work, I just take time. And over my coffee break time, I say a little prayer.
And a quarter of that salami. No, the garlic one. Yep, that's it. You could always give me a slice of that cheesecake to bake. Maybe just a little bit bigger than that, please. Thanks. Espresso, please, full.
Inspector. That business I'm reading, the man who was stabbed, this is for you to sort out?
I suppose so.
I'm surprised you have time to rest, do shopping, drink coffee.
I have to eat, Aldo. Besides, I'm working.
What's that?
That?
In there, those bags.
One's pickled gherkin, salami and cheese, the other's cheesecake.
You can't eat your own food in here.
I'm not eating it.
That's what I said.
Are you Maura?
Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays and some Sunday afternoons. The rest of the week, I'm Leslie.
Well, I'm sure there's a good reason.
And there is. I do stand-up. You know, comedy. This is just my day job, I suppose.
Well, you were working here last night.
You're never the detective.
Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays.
What happens on Sundays? You go to church?
No. Go down to the Bell, listen to some jazz, with a bit of luck.
Derek said that you were fat and 50 and dressed like something out of the Ark.
Well, it's no wonder you didn't recognise me then.
Right, well, you're not fat. Well, not like some we're getting here. I have 100 weight of cholesterol on feet.
Hey, Maura!
Hang on a minute! So, what was it you wanted to know?
Carl Doherty. Do you know him?
Don't think so. Not by name.
Maura, if you can tear yourself away.
If you had a picture...
Yeah.
Oh, that Carl.
You know him then?
He was in here from around 9:45 till just before closing. Sitting with this other guy some of the time, I remember. Seen them together before. He comes in quite a bit too. Peter, Paul, I know, one of those apostolic names. I don't know if they were having a row exactly, but his mate, well, I'm sure he was shouting at him. That would have been just before Carl left.
He was angry then, at the other man.
You know, lover's tiff.
Is that what they were?
Carl and whoever, maybe. Carl, I'd always reckoned he was gay. Well, not camp, nothing like that, just, well, you know, the way he looked at me, right through me. The way he looked at men, some men, especially after he'd had a drink or two.
And you say this other man?
Paul, I'm sure it's Paul.
He comes in there quite a bit, does he?
Evenings, yeah, later on. But sometimes early, too, after work, I suppose. Comes in wearing this hangdog expression, an excuse for a suit. Well, now, to me, it wouldn't make it as a floor cloth, but to him, it's a suit.
Have you got any idea what sort of work he does?
Sorry, no.
Know his other name?
Nope.
Well, we'll ask around. Meanwhile, look, that's my number. If you do remember anything else, or if he happens to come in, will you give me a call?
Yeah, all right, I will.
Laura!
Coming! Don't forget your cheesecake.
Likely not politically correct to say shirt lifter in these enlightened times.
Likely not, Graham.
Tap. Mind you, I'm not sure if knowing that's if we do know makes out clearer or just muddies the water a sight more.
Well, once we manage to have a word with this Paul something or other, that'll throw a little light there. I've managed to negotiate a few extra bodies for 24 hours, put themselves around the shops and offices in the area. See if they can't track him down.
Well, the business out at the hospital then, the doctor chappie. We're backpedaling any connection there?
Until we get something more definite, Graham, I don't think we can afford to sideline anything. And what we suspect of Doherty's sexual orientation, though. Now, it opens up another realm of possibility.
How's that?
Well, it's not only the silent majority think we should be deploying officers in public laboratories or setting up video cameras to catch a few game men with more than time on their hands. Last thing at night, a dozen pints of lager swilling round. There's blokes enough set to prove their manliness by taking the law into their own hands.
Queer bashing, you mean?
Oh, I'm sure that's what they call it, Graham.
Well, let the media get to whiff of that, and it'll be enough to wipe Princess Di's smile off the front page for a few days. Next thing you know, everyone to the left of the Co-op Labour Party will be organising demos and picketing the likes of you and me, hollering for protection for their oppressed brothers.
Well, as far as the press are concerned, the primary line of our investigation is still centred around the hospital, right? Until we've anything more definite, let's make sure they don't think any different. All right, let's see how we got on at the hospital. Call Doherty, Dipak. Any change in his condition?
Afraid not, sir. Drifting in and out of consciousness most of the day. Even if he came to for longer, I doubt I'd be able to speak to him. Not usefully, at any rate. I thought I'd be better off getting back here.
Right, Kevin, Lynn, anything to report?
I spoke to close on 30 staff who'd worked with Doherty at different times. Everyone agreed, great bloke, reliable, good sense of humour.
And socially, out of work, I mean.
Phil would have a drink with him once or twice, but not a lot more. It's funny, for all that he's a friendly bloke at work, once he's off the job, he seems to keep himself pretty much to himself.
I wouldn't have thought you'd have found that odd at all.
And what's that mean?
All right, let's get back to Doherty. Girlfriends, relationships, anything like that?
Not from what I heard.
Perhaps he subscribes to safe sex.
How's that then?
Don't do it at all.
Something else you'd likely know
Hey,
about.
all right. We still have to double-check any possible connections between Doherty and Tim Fletcher. Anything we might have overlooked. Now, that's our priority for tomorrow. Well, one of them. Okay, come on, let's go.
Sir.
Lynn, I like quick word. What's going on between you and Kevin?
Oh, it's nothing.
Oh, come on, Lynn. All of a sudden, sniping at each other. Where's that come from?
It's Kevin and Debbie, sir.
What about them?
I don't know. They're obviously going through a bad patch, the baby and everything.
Serious?
I don't know. Not really. That's part of the problem. Kevin just drops hints about how fed up he is, angry. That's how he seems a lot of the time. But he doesn't really talk about it.
You tried?
Suppose that's what's getting to him. I start off wanting to discuss things, and because I don't get any response, end up giving him a lecture. At least that's how he sees it.
Maybe I should talk to him.
At least he'd listen to you.
All I'd have to think of is the right thing to say.
Yes?
I'm sorry, Mr. Salt, but it's Sister Minton again. I told her you were in a meeting, but she said it was urgent.
It's all right, dear, yeah? Helen, this simply isn't the best time.
No?
No.
But then, Bernard, these days, it never is.
I've been busy.
You always are. You always used to be. It never used to matter then.
Helen, someone might come in.
Your secretary, the wonderful Delia. I don't think you need worry about her, Bernard. She'll simply assume I'm another hysterical middle-aged woman for you to deal with. I'm sure she's used to them trooping in and out of your office. Besides, she'll never betray your confidence. Expose you to anything as unsavoury as gossip. She's probably in love with you herself.
Now you're being stupid.
Well, of course I am. Sooner or later, I always am in your eyes. If I weren't, how could you dismiss me so easily?
Look, Helen, why don't we do this? Just let me check my appointments and we'll make a definite date. Sometime next week. Things will be easier then. We'll go somewhere pleasant, that restaurant out at Plumtree. You liked it there.
I hated it.
You always said...
I lied, Bernard. We both lied.
Helen, listen.
No, Bernard. You listen. All those snatched moments in country lanes and other people's weekend homes. Conferences where I've come sneaking up to you at 2 in the morning like some tart. And for what? You've divorced her exactly as you said you would. And now, Bernard, I want my due. What you promised. I want to be able to hold my head up in this hospital, this city. You don't have to marry me, Bernard. I'm not expecting that much, but you will acknowledge me. Us. And Bernard, you will do it soon.
You bitch. You sorry, sour bitch.
Okay, Dizzy, calm down. Take it easy.
All right. Just about giving you up for lost, Charlie. There you are. Had to talk the bloke at the off-licence into letting me have this scotch on account.
I don't have an account.
You do now. Yeah. These early dial sessions. Miles, Max Roach. Marvellous stuff, eh, Charlie, eh? I'll tell you what. If I'd heard Parker before George Lewis, I'd have given up before I started. One thing, learning Burgundy Street blues note by note. Another, trying to cop Bird. You know what it sounded like when I was a kid, Charlie? Music from another world. Another planet. Here, have a top up. I met him once.
Parker?
Working the base, wasn't I? Liners. Southampton to New York. Waltzes and foxtrots in the first class. Soon as we docked, it would be a cab to 52nd Street, wherever Bird or Monk were playing. The Free Deuces, the Royal Roost. And just sit there, with a single beer, gobsmacked, listening. Yeah. Anyway, there I am the next day, due back on board by 7:30, taking a last look down Broadway. And there is Bird. Yeah, crossing the street ahead of me, sax case in his hand. My first reaction, well, can't believe it. But then I'm shaking his hand, telling him I've come all the way from England to hear him play. Every solo he's played the last 3 nights has been a sodding inspiration. Well, he gives me this big grin and says, "Hey man, lend me $50. I would have given him the clothes off my back. But right then I didn't have $5, never mind 50. I can't think of another thing to say, and all I can do, Charlie, and when I think of it to this day, is watch him walk away. Well, by the time he got to the studio, just a couple of blocks away, he'd copped from somebody else. Story is, he scored and shot up in a studio Carlsy before cutting this. She was here earlier this evening, Charlie. Elaine.
Pauline, it's about Carl. We have to talk.
Carl? Where is Carl? Is he here?
He's in the hospital.
Of course he's in the hospital. It's where he works. I know that. Do you think I don't know where our son works?
Pauline, listen to me. He's ill. Seriously ill. He may die.
Nonsense, William. Whatever you're talking about. There's been a mistake.
I took him for a drink once. Not so long after he qualified. It was nowhere special. That pub on the old road out towards Kimberley, where all the stocking factories used to be. And we sat there. Oh, must have been about the best part of an hour, drinking. Not a lot. Never saying very much. I wanted to talk to him. Wanted him to talk to me. I asked him, Carl, is there anything you want to say to me? Tell me. No, he said. I thought there might have been something you wanted to tell me. No, Dad, I don't think so, he said. You don't like women very much, son, do you? They're all right, he said, as friends.
Kevin? Whatever time is it? It's late. Wherever have you been?
Shh. Go back to sleep.
You stink of beer.
Debbie. We can't go on like this.
Each day just wending our way along.
Charlie? What are you doing sitting here on your own in the dark?
Listening. Just listening.
Suit yourself.
Oh, God. Kevin. Kevin. All right, Kevin, you stay there. I'll go.
The wind of the bluebird as she sings. The 6 o'clock alarm will never ring. Puts its ring and I rise while the sleep of the mind. The shaven breezes go and it stings.
Don't know what you've got to be so cheerful about. Try getting in before 2, you might not feel so bad. Oh, don't start. And it wasn't 2, if you must know. It was 1:35 a.m. What I'd like to know is what I was doing till that time. Well, you wouldn't. Take my word for it. If you end up getting into trouble again, I'll... You what? Here. We had a deal, right? We had a deal. When little Miss Prizzy Paws... Don't speak about your sister that way. When she decamped with Mum and a meal ticket, when they finally couldn't stand all them moves of yours and your everlasting bloody depression... I was sick. I know you were sick. You're still sick. Anyway, when they buggered off and left you to it, I stayed, right? I know you stayed, and I'm grateful. And we had this deal. My life, my way, no rules, no regulations, no questions. Right? Right. Good. Now pass us the ketchup.
Can it be? to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen.
Espresso, Inspector?
Ah, please, Aldo. Pass us over the paper, will you?
Thought I might find you here, sir.
Ah, just catching up with what's going on in the world.
And with counties reserves?
One espresso. And for the lady?
Nothing, thanks.
You not got time for a cappuccino?
Better not. I'm trawling the area with the others, tracking down Paul Groves. But I just wanted a minute to ask you something.
Yeah?
When I was at the hospital yesterday, I popped in to see Tim Fletcher. He told me he's not seen hide nor hair of Karen Adams in days.
And you're worried about the girl?
I wondered, once we found Groves, if I shouldn't go out there. Make sure she's okay at least.
Carew, is that what you're thinking? Might have been back.
It's possible, but I don't know. I just feel uneasy, that's all.
Okay. We'll get Groves sorted first, then nip out to the girls, take a look. Yeah, be quick, mind.
Right, sir. Thanks. Enjoy the rest of your espresso.
Yes, sir. Can I be of any help? Very nice carpet, that. 20% reduction per square metre in our special offer, and that includes free fitting.
Paul Groves?
Yes?
Sorry to disappoint you, but it's not your shag pal we're interested in. We're police officers, and we're likely to come to the station and answer some questions.
Now?
I don't think we'll hang on till your lunch break, if you don't mind.
In your own time.
We'd arranged to meet for a drink, Carl and me. 9:30 it was supposed to be, but he was late. He always was, nurses. I suppose it would have been around 10 by the time he arrived. We stayed an hour, maybe a bit more, just talking, you know, as much as you can over the music. 2 or 3 drinks, that's all we'd have had. Not what you'd call drinkers, not either of us, really. Not a lot more I can say. Carl, he left a bit before me, 5 or 10 minutes. I finished off my drink, said goodnight to a couple of other people and went straight home. I assumed Carl had done the same. That was till I heard the news.
You didn't come forward?
No.
Why not?
Paul, you say Carl left before you?
Yeah.
And why was that?
He was on an early next day. You must know what it's like. Shift work, lates and earlies. Plays havoc with any social life.
And that's all there was to it? I mean, Carl, anxious to get to his bed?
Yeah.
So there's no truth that the two of you had an argument?
Who said that?
Does it matter?
Is it true?
No.
You sure about that?
Of course I'm sure.
There was no disagreement between you about Carl leaving when he did?
No. Look, I
No
think...
raised voices?
No!
What do you think, Graham?
Aside from the fact that he's lying out of his backside.
Aside from that.
I can't see him turning into a near homicidal maniac on the stroke of midnight, if that's what you mean.
No, mate, but let's get his record checked just the same. His brief will be arguing him back out if we're not going to press charges.
No bother. I doubt he'll do a runner, and it's not as if we don't know where to find him. Half a mind to pop in, as a matter of fact, see what kind of a price he'll give me on some Wilton the wife wants for the lounge.
Yeah?
Detective Constable Lynn Kellogg. Karen Adams, is she here?
Search me.
You don't know if she's here now.
Why don't you come in and take a look?
That's okay.
Jesus.
Whatever happened, it happened in a hurry.
Oh, if she's done a bunk with 3 weeks' rent down the drain, never mind having to go tarting around to find someone else.
She hasn't taken everything.
How can you tell? What she's left I shouldn't think she'd miss.
You didn't hear any kind of disturbance up here, yesterday or the day before?
No, sorry.
Well, can you remember the last time you saw her?
Might be on Wednesday. No, Thursday. No, hang on a minute. Tuesday, yeah, Tuesday.
You do know what day it is today?
Yes. Oh, Crab.
Gross. Not quite as virgin white as he'd have us believe.
Well, go on.
2.5 years back he was charged with gross indecency, got lowered to behaviour likely to alarm or distress, then dropped altogether. 9 months after that he had a warning for remaining in a public lavatory longer than was reasonable for the purpose. Begs the question, doesn't it, like what the purpose was?
We let him go?
An hour since. Want me to send the cavalry, haul him in again?
No. Not yet, Graham. I'll talk to him myself first.
Good run.
Not bad, yes.
2 miles? 3?
4.
20 minutes?
18.
Not bad.
Look, I don't imagine this is a social call, nor that you just happen to be here by chance, but if it's all the same to you, I'd like to go in and get a shower.
Little sweat never hurt.
Huh, that depends, doesn't it? There's sweat and sweat, after all.
When did you last see Karen Adams?
Oh, you don't give up, do you?
When did you last see her?
Look, you know as well as I'm not allowed to see her anymore. I was warned off, remember?
And you always do what you're told? Have you seen her?
No.
Spoken to her?
No.
There's been no contact?
Look,
Yes?
I presume you've got a good reason for all of this.
Karen's gone missing.
Oh, well, that's it then. Karen goes walkabout, answers simple. Ian Carew, male chauvinist pig, down to me. Got to be. Ah, never mind bothering with any other more rational explanation.
Such as?
Why ask me? That's your job. There must be hundreds of them. Oh, but no, you just like this one.
And why should I do that?
I'm sorry, but I think you're going to have to work that one out for yourself. As for me, I'm going inside to take that shower. If you want to come with me, scrub my back, apply the talc, maybe take a quick squint in the cellar while you're about it, be my guest. Otherwise, sod off. Please.
Should Karen make contact with you in any way, please notify me at the station. I needn't hold you up any longer.
Sure about the back?
Yeah, I've been reading your file, Paul.
Of course.
I mean, it was all a while ago, and anyway, what you are, whatever your sexual preferences, it doesn't matter one straw.
Then why are you
Except insofar as it might be relevant to this inquiry.
I don't see
now,
how...
Come on, Paul. I'm not treating you like a fool.
Does it really make a difference whether Carl and I were involved?
It might.
I met him in the showcase, late afternoon. It was my day off, and I suppose it was Carl's too. We were nearly empty, just the two of us in an old dear who ate her sandwiches and fell asleep, snored away through all the best bits of Philadelphia. Carl spoke to me on the way out. Something about the film. The ending. It's very emotional. I think he needed to talk to someone. Anyway, we were both heading back into town and ended up eating pizza and seeing who could load up the biggest plate at the salad bar. After that, we met up most weeks. See a film, get something to eat, a drink. Chat about this and that, his work, mine. Well, mostly his. Not an awful lot you can say about carpets. I went back to his place a couple of times. All these photos around the walls from when he was in the States. California. Posters too. And books. I never knew anyone had so many books. More than any normal person'd read in a lifetime. He never came back to mine. I'd ask him time after time. We always had some excuse. I touched him once. Just once, and you'd have thought I'd stuck a knife in him. I miss him. I miss him.
It's okay, Paul. It's okay. I sat there a while afterwards listening to this band, the Burton Youth Band. As much out of sympathy as anything else. I mean, they weren't bad. It wasn't that. It just didn't have much of a crowd. Anyway, there were these two youngsters stuck away to one side, a boy and a girl. Couldn't have been much more than 11, 12. Anyhow, I watched them, the pair of them. Him with his spectacles and cowlicked hair, and the girl with these skinny legs, you know, patched purple from the wind. And fingering the valves of their cornets and counting the bars, waiting their turn. And just as they were about to play, the wind whipped the music off the stands. That were it. Chance gone.
Grows. You don't think...
Did he cause those injuries to Doherty? No. No, I don't think he's got it in him. Thank the Lord. But we'll keep his file handy, just in case I'm wrong.
Right.
Oh, and Graham, the minute Lynn shows her face, I want her in here. Whatever were you thinking about? In going after Carew without rhyme or reason?
I didn't go after him. All I did was ask him a few pertinent questions.
To say nothing of denying him access to his own property, causing him actual physical discomfort, and then accusing him of being involved in the disappearance of Karen Adams.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, isn't it? Here. Perhaps you'd like to read the second of two faxes I had from his solicitor. Copies to the Chief Superintendent of CID and the Chief Constable Designate. Well?
Well, he's exaggerating. Blowing it up out of all proportion. I don't think this is...
That's just it, Lynn. You didn't think.
Sir?
You were so anxious to go after Carew, you omitted to follow a few more obvious lines of inquiry.
Such as, sir?
Such as getting in contact with Karen's personal tutor at the university. Karen went to see her 2 days ago, asking for a couple of weeks out to get over what had happened. In the circumstances, the tutor was happy to agree. She's gone to stay with her parents. Bevan. Here. Perhaps you'd like to check it out.
Thank you, sir.
Bernard.
Helen? Good God, woman, what do you think you're playing at?
I'm not playing, I've told you. While you were still tied down, it was different. I could understand. But now you've got your precious freedom. I want an undertaking. Our relationship out in the open. What are you doing? What is it? Bernard, stop it! Stop it! I'm sorry. Believe me, I'm sorry.
It's all right, Helen. It doesn't matter. In fact, I ought to thank you. You've made it easier for me to say what I have to say. You see, you're right. I have got my freedom, and there's no way in which I'm prepared to let that be threatened again, and certainly not by you. If you could only see how crimped and pathetic you look standing there. It's over. I don't want to speak to you again.
Thank you, Bernard. I know how difficult it is for you to be honest. But you know it isn't finished. Not quite. You know what I shall do.
Don't threaten me, Helen. I warn you, it's not a wise thing to do.
Good night, Bernard. Sleep well. Remember what I've said.
Hello? It's the wife, Charlie. Ex, that is, Elaine. Well, wants to know if you're here.
No. No, I'm not.
No, I'm sorry, Elaine. No, I thought he was. But it seems he's not. Yeah, yeah, sure, I'll tell him. As soon as he comes in.
Well?
Says you're an awful liar, Charlie. Always was.
Calvin, are you?
Who else?
Where are you going this time of night?
What do you think? Out!
Calvin!
Hello? Who is this?
It's Helen.
What now?
I thought you should know, Bernard. I've just one more letter to write. The Chief Administrator at the hospital, the Royal College of Surgeons, your Senior Registrar, the BMA, all done. The last one's for your ex-wife. I thought it was only fair. I'm going to finish this and then walk them to the post. Sleep well, Bernard. Think about me.
So now you say that it's over. You want to forgive and forget. One day you'll remember I told you this ain't over yet.
In episode 2 of Cutting Edge, dramatised from his own novel by John Harvey, Tom Georgeson played Charlie Resnick, Sean Baker, Millington, Kate Eaton, Lynn, Paul Bazeley, Dipak, and Ben Porter, Kevin. Dennis Hawthorne played Mr. Salt, Nicholas Boulton, Carew, John Simm, Dr. Fletcher, James Taylor, William, and Zulema Dean, Pauline. Don McCorkindale played Silver, Peter Kenny, Groves, George Parsons, Arthur, Philip Weaver, Calvin, and Gillian Bevan, Sarah. Alice Arnold played Helen, Colleen Prendergast, Debbie, Stella Duffy, Maura, John Hartley, Fenby, Roger May, Student, and Anne Beach, Delia. The Cutting Edge song was written by Liz Simcock, played by Trevor Watkiss, and sung by Gillian Bevan. The director was David Hunter.
Like a lamb to the slaughter, you led me to this place. You took away everything I brought here, you left me to my fate. I saw the eyes of a stranger, I saw the glint of a blade.
We present the third episode of Cutting Edge, a three-part serial by John Harvey, with Tom Georgeson as Nottingham-based, jazz-loving Detective Inspector Charlie Resnick.
They're all dying, Charlie. Dead or dying.
In previous episodes, a doctor and a nurse have been viciously attacked and injured by a scalpel-wielding assailant. Now it looks like a hospital sister has fallen foul of the blade.
Found her in the stairwell over by the edge of the car park. Whoever had dragged her there had done it presumably with some idea of hiding the body, but they'd done a pretty poor job.
Battle, most likely.
Security guard came across her a little after first light, thought he recognised her. Well, the state she was in, it's a wonder.
A mess, he said.
Butchery, isn't it?
Getting a taste for it, sounds like.
Well, either that or more terrified every time.
All three, then. Fletcher, Doherty, and now this. We're putting them down to the same person.
Whatever we thought before, Graham, after this I don't see as we've got much choice.
Dad! 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 Here, steady. Steady, 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 steady. Steady. It's those dreams again, isn't it? Same as before. Same as always.
Easy, Calvin. It's okay.
It's not bloody okay.
I'll be all right. Give me my pills.
Bastards!
Oh, I'm sorry, son.
You're sorry. You're not the one. It's not you should be sorry. We've all been sorry enough.
Helen Minton, 41 years of age, unmarried, lived in West Bridford, Masonette off Melton Road. For the past 11 years, she was employed at the Royal Hospital, latterly in the post of theatre sister. When scene of crime get through processing the photographic evidence, you'll be able to see for yourselves the extent of their injuries, though I doubt you'll want to linger. Right. The most savage strokes seem to be those to the centre of the face, the mouth, as if whoever was attacking her had been trying to silence her, stop her screaming.
Is there any doubt, sir, about the kind of weapon?
A thin blade, razor sharp. All the signs that, as with Fletcher and Doherty, a scalpel was used.
So we're back to looking for a connection, aside from the fact they all worked in the same hospital.
The nearest we've come up with so far, half a dozen or so of the patients Fletcher was attending to were in the ward where Doherty worked.
And they were Fletcher's patients because he was a member of that consultant's team, Bernard Salt.
It's likely he would have worked with this Helen Minton as well, then. Salt, I mean.
And she was, what, theatre sister?
Yeah. I don't know how many operating theatres there are, but not that many, I shouldn't have thought. So it stands to reason they'd have worked together, some of the time at least.
Yeah, right, Dipak. OK, you follow that up. Meantime, Kevin, get yourself out back to hospital security.
Not 24 hours.
They came here to paying off with Tim Fletcher, remember? And they're bound to have at least one of their cameras trained on the car park. Now, if it gives us nothing more than which vehicles were still parked at that time of night, it's a start.
Right, sir.
Too early for anything yet from forensic, Graham.
Not notable early risers?
Ah, well, let's lean on them a little. Even if the attacker was wearing gloves, there was enough blood spilling around for something to have been snagged. Body, hair, fabric. If we're lucky, we'll maybe get another shoe print.
Run-of-the-mill trainer, I'd not mind betting about as anonymous as before.
Well, you think positive, Graham. If it matches the print left on the bridge, it's not anonymous anymore.
Right.
Right, I'm due a session with the press officer. See if we can't come up with a statement that keeps panic to a minimum.
Do wonders for the accusing casualty.
After that, I'll be out in the hospital. Now, aside from anything else, I'd like to talk to Doherty now there's a chance.
How are you feeling?
Oh, better for that.
I've got some breakfast going.
I thought I could smell burning.
We haven't all got your culinary skills.
I'm not sure how beans on toast comes to be called culinary.
Oh, your wizardry with the English language.
I was only teasing.
But we do our best.
You're a good boy. No matter what anyone says, no matter what I say sometimes. You're a good boy, Calvin.
Yeah, well, don't know about that. What do you call that row? He calls it the illusion of confusion.
Aye, well, he's right.
How come you never liked my music?
Music?
See? At least it's better than all that crap you listen to. Rattles your poor old brain.
Not so much harping on about the old. I feel old enough as it is. You didn't have to do that.
It's okay. Didn't like that track.
You going to visit your mother on Sunday?
Always do, don't I? Unless she phones and says she's sorry, but it's not convenient.
Well, I want you to take something for me.
Yeah?
A letter. I'm writing her a letter.
You're always writing her letters. I don't know why you bother. She never reads them.
How do you know?
Writes back to you, does she?
No.
Phones?
No, but what's that?
When you gonna learn?
Learn what?
She's gone. Her and my stuck-up bitch of a sister, they're gone. You and me, that's all there is.
Have you contacted Helen Minton's relatives?
Married sister living in Grimsby. She's going to inform the mother, who's in a nursing home in somewhere. Cleethorpes, I think it is. Then the sister's coming down by train.
She didn't give you anything useful, I suppose.
Not really. Didn't want to press too hard, not just after she'd heard. Thought I'd talk to her after she'd identified the body.
I doubt she'll want to say much then either. Try giving her some time.
Of course.
Karen Adams, by the way, did we check with the parents? I mean, is she actually there?
Safe and sound.
Yeah. Which means your friend Carew's off the hook.
Yeah, I almost bumped into him in town yesterday, getting into this snazzy little sports job. Smug grin on his face and a sweatshirt with "Medics have bigger balls" right across the front.
Steer clear.
I know.
How are things with Kevin and Debbie? Still problems?
Expect so. Haven't heard. Kev's decided to keep himself to himself where I'm concerned.
I keep meaning to take him on one side, talk to him. But I'm not sure if it'd help. Well, I mean, somehow I've not found the time.
Here we are. Next left up ahead.
I'll have a word with Doherty first. Maybe you could contact Dipak, see if he needs a hand.
Absolutely tip-top at her job. Ask anyone who had the good fortune to work with her. Old school, of course, not like some of the flippity-gibbet you might be unlucky to find nowadays. No, Helen Minton, absolutely first class.
You work with her often, then?
Oh, no more than anyone else, I don't suppose. Pretty much luck of the draw, that kind of thing. Nursing rotas, a mystery to me and every other rational man, I'm afraid.
And socially?
Socially?
Did you meet much outside? Work? A drink, perhaps? Relax at the end of the day?
Young man.
Sir?
I don't know how these things work in the current incarnation of the constabulary, but in my world you will find that socially one mixes with one's peers. And I doubt that poor Sister Minton, God rest her soul, would have been comfortable as a member of my golf club. Though it may interest you to know that both your chief constable and your assistant chief most certainly are. And now, excuse me, I have a tasty little cholecystectomy to perform.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Sir, I ended up calling him bloody sir and thanking him as though he'd been doing me a favour, instead of patronising me like the pompous prat he is. Sort that still finds losing the colonies difficult to swallow.
Don't worry, Dipak. He probably doesn't think much of women either.
Well, Helen Minton was absolutely tip-top and absolutely first class.
Yes, but that was when she was in uniform and doing her job. Don't suppose for a minute he was thinking of her as a woman at all. She was just part of his efficient little team, ready to slap a scalpel into his hand the minute he yelled scalpel.
Is that what she did? I mean, was that actually part of her job?
I don't know. It's one of the things I've got to find out.
Oh, listen, Salt's secretary, Delia Porter. Trying to get anything out of her was like chipping ice off the inside of a freezer.
Even with your well-known boyish charms?
Yes, even with that. You couldn't have a go at her, could you?
Woman to woman, you mean?
That's the thing.
I'll try.
Hey, Carl. How are you feeling?
Better than some, apparently. I just heard about Helen.
Yeah. You know her?
Not well. I mean, I knew who she was. Been here a long time, pretty much a fixture.
Was she liked?
I never thought about her in those terms, I suppose. Like, dislike, nothing that personal. Efficient, prompt, skilled. I only ever saw her in terms of the job.
She didn't have much of a private life then?
If she did, she kept it pretty much to herself. Unlike some of us, I fear.
How much do you remember?
Very little, thank God. Though I know that doesn't help you.
But something.
Whoever it was, he came from behind. The lavatories, the stalls. I remember this click, like the bolt on the door slipping back.
And you saw?
An arm. Black glove, I think it was black. Black sweater, maybe jeans.
Colour?
Black again.
Shoes?
Trainers. White, with some kind of blue flash. Old, though, not new.
You didn't see the face?
No.
But you would have got some impression of, say, size.
Around my height, 5'9", 10. Strong, obviously. Once he got hold of me, there wasn't any chance I was going to get away. You think it was the same person as killed Helen Minton?
Well, I think it's a very real possibility, don't you? Well, thanks for your help, Cal. Yeah?
Excuse me?
Yes?
Sarah, isn't it? I was wondering if I could give you a lift.
I don't think I know you.
Ian Carew, second-year med, student. I've been on your ward a few times, observing, you know. I think that doctor that was attacked was there. Fletcher, isn't that his name? Tim?
Tim, yes. Look, I'm sorry, I don't remember you, and thank you. I'd prefer to walk.
Even with some loony running around slicing people into little pieces.
You think I'd be safer with you?
Is it all right if I sit here?
Of course.
Canteens. Doesn't seem to matter where you are, they're always pretty much the same.
Yes, I suppose so.
Lynn Kellogg, CID.
Oh, yes, of course. You're here because of all these appalling things that have been happening. Poor Helen Minton. I'm Delia Porter, secretary to Mr. Salt. He's one of the senior consultants.
Yes, I know. You knew Helen Minton well?
Oh, not really, no.
Being Mr. Salt's secretary, I'd have thought you would.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
I don't know why, but I got the impression they were quite close.
Oh, no, not at all. Mr. Salt and Helen. It was an entirely proper relationship.
But it was a relationship.
I'm sorry, but I have to get back.
Miss Porter?
Goodbye.
CID, Detective Sergeant Millington.
I want to speak to Inspector Resnick.
Oh, he's not here at the moment. If you'd like to leave a message.
I'll leave a message. You can ask the inspector what exactly gives him the right to interrogate my staff.
And you are, sir?
Salt. Bernard Salt.
Graham.
Bernard Salt. And Inspector Resnick's been questioning your staff, has he, sir?
Not the inspector himself, Sergeant. His minions.
Minions, right.
Quizzing me and then my secretary about things that are no concern of the police or of any ongoing investigation.
And what things might these be, sir?
Questions about my relationship with Helen Minton.
You're saying there was a relationship, sir?
Don't play fast and loose with me, Sergeant.
No, sir.
You can tell Inspector Resnick that if he has any further questions he wishes to ask which relate to me directly, I should be obliged if he would have the courtesy to address them to me in person.
I'll be sure to tell him that the minute he returns. Me being one of his minions, as it were.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Feathers ruffled, Graham.
Sounds as if some of ours failed to observe the proper protocol. Only wants to talk to you in future, direct. What's it called? An audience of his peers. Steady on, lads. It's not a raid, least I hope not.
Security cameras. They didn't pick up any part of the attack, just like we thought. But I just now got through checking all the registrations. Vehicles parked during the time of the murder.
Go on, lad.
Austin Healey, Sports, 1964. Registered to one Ian John Carew.
I want to live like common people. I want to do whatever common people do.
Excuse me, sir.
What? Yes?
Ian Carew.
What? Oh, Jesus Christ, this is ridiculous!
I wonder if you wouldn't mind switching off the engine and stepping out of the vehicle.
Yes, I would mind. I would very much mind. I've enough of you. You've got no bloody right!
Why not get out of the vehicle quietly? Much the best all the way round. Now, sir, if you wouldn't mind blowing into this bag.
Not so much over the limit, Carew, more into the stratosphere.
And the car?
Dipak drove it in, parked it out back. When he was figuring out the controls, he moved this stuff on the floor with his foot. Regular tip. Textbooks, sports socks, jock strap.
Is there a point to this, Graham?
You could say that.
Never a scalpel.
Scalpel holder.
Dipak didn't touch it, did he?
Lad's not stupid. Screwing the forensics aside, that lawyer of his would get it thrown out for illegal search.
Well, then, let's make it legal.
Right. And speaking of lawyers...
Oh, no, she's not here now, is she?
Suzanne Owes, yes. Glad rags, too. Not a bad-looking woman once she's left her shoulder pads behind and got herself in a frock.
Oh, sure.
Right. Miss Owes.
Inspector, this constant harassment of my client is
I'm only
absolutely
sorry you
unnecessary.
felt it necessary to leave whatever function you were
Inspector,
gracing.
my client has been forcibly removed from his own vehicle, dragged in here against his will, and now apparently has been left languishing in one of your cells while your officers go home laughing for a good night's sleep.
Ms. Olds, the truth is your client was found in charge of a vehicle with alcohol in his bloodstream at almost 3 times the legal limit. And as to being dragged into the station, if your client received a little help from my officers, it was to stop him falling flat on his face.
Kevin. Kevin. All right.
Confirmation that the police are now convinced the series of vicious attacks culminating in the murder of theatre sister Helen Minton are the work of the same assailant have thrown hospital staff into a panic.
Leave these eggs much longer, they'll be like rubber.
And hospital management have made demands for extra security. Detective Inspector Resnick, in charge of the investigation, would not confirm rumours this morning that the police have a suspect in custody.
What'd you do that for?
What's the lesson of that stuff?
Me, for one.
That place. Last place you'd give a toss about, I'd have thought. Here. Eat these. Like rubber.
She's gone down now at last.
Ah.
Maybe we can get a little sleep. Kevin, you're not going out.
Work?
It's Sunday.
Tell that to the murder inquiry.
One chance of a lay-in.
You lay there. Count the overtime.
What shall I tell Mum?
About what? Me doing double time? Probably expecting me to buy that new settee she's always on about.
I told her we'd take the baby round for lunch.
Oh, well, you take her. She'll love it, watching your mum's Yorkshires capsizing the gravy.
It's all a joke to you, isn't it?
Look, I've got to go. See you later. I'll be late, most likely.
Kevin!
Ms. Olds.
Inspector, my client is sitting in that freezing cold cell dressed only in a pair of shorts.
Oh, that would be on account of him throwing up over his clothes in the night.
A skimpy pair of old shorts.
I believe he was offered a blanket and refused. You could check with the custody sergeant.
In places like Northern Ireland, it gets called sensory deprivation.
Really? Oh, well, here we just call it sitting around in shorts. Interview room A in 10 minutes. I trust you'll be there.
Now, I just want to be clear about this. The night that Helen Minton was killed, you left your car in the car park overnight and didn't collect it till the next morning.
Yes.
You left it there at...
I've told you. 9:30. 9:45.
You hadn't been drinking?
I'd been studying. I had a headache. I wanted to walk.
So last night, when you most certainly had been drinking, you were prepared to drive home whatever the consequences.
Sergeant, please.
Whereas on the previous night, stone cold sober...
Sergeant.
I had a head like half a pound of old wool. It happens when you study a lot. But you'll have to take my word for that.
So, you didn't at any time see Helen Minton?
In the car park? No.
Where?
Oh, I don't know.
You saw her that evening?
No, it was in the afternoon, towards the end of the afternoon, but I don't see what that's got to do with it.
Just tell us where exactly you saw Helen Minton.
Up on the second floor. I'd been to see Mr. Salt. Well, his secretary. He'd given this lecture a few weeks before, and I wanted to get hold of a copy of his notes. Of course, it was like prizing blood out of a stone.
And Helen Minton was where?
In the corridor, walking towards me. towards the lift.
Away from Salt's office?
Yes, coming from that direction.
You didn't actually see her leaving the office?
No.
And the secretary, she didn't make any comment about Helen Minton having been there?
No, look.
How long after that was it you saw her again?
What do you mean? I never saw her again.
Never?
Never.
You sure?
Of course I'm bloody certain.
I think my client needs a break. A warm meal, a cup of tea.
This interview resumed at 2:17.
You recognise this?
Am I supposed to?
What you're supposed to do is answer the question.
It's a scalpel holder. Anyone with an atom of
This
sense...
particular one.
What?
Do you recognise this particular scalpel holder?
No. Should I? I mean, how can I? It's a scalpel holder, same as any other.
The same?
Yes.
How can you be so sure?
I can't.
You know where it was found?
Oh, well, it must be crucial evidence. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. Those people from the hospital, that's what they were attacked with, right? The last one, the woman, she was killed with one, a scalpel. Oh, so, and this is wonderful, great police logic. Oh, my God, it's no wonder you're all in Mensa.
Ian.
Carew, scalpel holder, scalpel. He did it, open and shut, right?
Almost.
Inspector, I think my client...
Wants to tell us how this came to be in his possession.
Was it in his possession?
It was in his car.
I'm surprised there weren't several.
Collect them, do you?
I see them in the hospital sometimes, laying around, attempting to slip them in a pocket. Never know when they might come in handy.
And blades?
Less likely. To see them laying around, I mean.
But still, not easy to get hold of.
Easy enough. Look, I'm a medical student, right? I'm interested in surgery. Sometimes I practice on the occasional grapefruit, maybe a rabbit from the lab, a frog. I could carve the Sunday bloody turkey, if you like. Inch perfect. Dissection.
Bloody.
What?
You said bloody.
So?
So, whose blood is it on the scalpel holder?
I don't know. Is there blood?
According to the forensic report. I take it you'd have no objection letting us take a sample. For the purpose of elimination.
Inspector, you know as well as I, the giving of intimate samples...
No, of course not. Where do we do it? Not here, I hope. Dead unhygienic.
All you can think of to do with yourself.
What?
Cooking.
I'm just fixing this pancake batter.
Always in this damn kitchen.
Calvin.
What?
What am I supposed to do?
I don't know.
Because also, I go to the shops, the market. I ride my bike across the city to get something at 50p off. I keep this house clean down on my hands and knees. I wash your clothes. I go to the job centre, sign on, collect my pension.
Your disability pension.
Yes, and I go to the doctor.
You shrink.
Calvin, what else do you want from me?
Nothing. I don't want nothing from you.
Tell me about your mother. How was she?
The same.
And your sister?
Same.
Damn it, Calvin.
What?
This is my family as well as yours.
Not anymore.
Your mother and me, we were together a long
I
time.
left you quick enough.
She had her reasons.
Yeah.
Did she ask about me?
Yeah.
What'd she say?
She asked if you were still having your attacks.
You told her it was better. Much better.
I told her if she really wanted to know, she'd come back here and find out.
Yeah. Oh, go in, Graham.
Blood on the scalpel holder matches Carew's.
As against Helen Minton's.
Oh, doc it is. He is in the same group as Tim Fletcher, but I thought we pretty much discounted him for that.
We had. Anything more come back on the shoe print?
Could have been made by the same trainer as the one in the Fletcher attack, but nothing positive. Certainly nothing that would stand up.
Well, we'll question him again. He's cocky enough, he just might go over the edge, give himself away.
You're not buying both of those.
This is a bookshop.
Even so, Teesdale and Rubinstein. Heavy duty, even for a staff nurse with ambitions.
Excuse me.
Here, let me carry them, at least as far as the tip.
No, I can manage, thanks.
Look, when you're through here, how about a coffee?
I don't think so.
A drink, then. Help me celebrate.
Celebrate what, exactly?
My freedom from the hands of the police. My car had been left parked near where that sister was found dead, Minton. So naturally they thought that meant I'd killed her.
Well, look, I'm sorry, Ian. It is Ian, isn't it?
I've had a tiring day, and I'm sure you won't have any problems finding someone else to celebrate with. Okay, bye.
Some other time, then.
Shall I tell you why you're coming, Charlie? Polish club? No, it's not the fancy vodka or all those generals preening themselves around the walls. Vanity. That's what it is. You see, you must be the youngest bloke here by a good 20 years. Forgetting myself, that is.
I'll tell you why I come here. There's nobody on the phone telling me they've found another body at the bottom of some car park stairs. I scarce anybody cares what I do here. As long as I can do a passable polka on New Year's Eve. I'm not an inspector in CID here. I'm nothing.
Not even a husband?
Oh, Lynn.
Ex-husband. But no, you're not even that. Ex-anything means acknowledging what you once were. And we both know you don't like to do that.
All right, look, Elaine, I mean...
Isn't that true, Ed? You'd know. You and Charlie shacked up together. You'd know if you ever talked about me. Bitterness, regret. But no, the strong and silent routine instead. Not like Ed here, Charlie. You could learn a thing or two from him about conviviality, hospitality. Polite Ed, almost a gentleman with the ladies. Though often, I suspect, more than a little drunk. Drunk enough to proposition me once, Charlie. Did he tell you that?
Elaine, no.
But anything's better than silence, even the odd drunken pass. At least it acknowledges that you're there, that you're alive. But of course you'd rather I wasn't that, wouldn't you,
Oh, come on,
Charlie?
Elaine, you know that's not true.
Isn't it? You wanted me out of your life, Charlie, as if I'd never existed, as if I didn't exist.
Oh, look.
And you know the reason, Ed, for my consignment to oblivion? You probably think it was because Charlie here caught me screwing another man, but it wasn't that.
Elaine, this is nobody's business
No,
but
it
ours,
was
you know.
because, Ed, I didn't want to have babies.
For crying out loud.
I didn't want to make pretty little babies that would make him tall and proud and
Okay.
call him Dada.
Enough. Charlie.
No,
Charlie.
don't pull me, Charlie. Don't touch me. I haven't told Ed yet what a kind, compassionate man you are. All the times you've helped me, Charlie, no matter what I've been going through. All the letters I sent you, what you never answered. All the times I rang up in pain and you hung up without a word.
I'm going.
Running out again, Charlie. Big, brave policeman scared of a little bit of truth. A little bit of bloody truth. Hello, Charlie. It's late.
Yeah.
The last time we stood in this doorway was when you kicked me out.
You didn't have to be kicked. You had the Volvo parked at the curb with the engine running.
A mistake, Charlie.
Maybe.
You don't forgive easily, do you?
Some things.
Let me in, and I'll try to make you forgive me. For earlier tonight, at least. I used to sit here when we were first married, worried sick over what might be happening to you out there in some pub brawl, down some back alley, frightened that you would never come home. Then later, when it had all changed, I used to sit here hoping you wouldn't come back at all. Does that shock you?
No.
I wished you did, Charlie.
Yeah.
So I could escape out of here and live happily ever after.
Well, we all want that.
Do you know, at the wedding I caught him in the upstairs bathroom with one of the bridesmaids, his hand up her skirt.
You should have left him then.
I just left you. I've been dying. This house, that bloody room upstairs you kept redecorating as a nursery. Funny. Not so long after I'd left you, I got careless, fell pregnant. He wasn't interested, called me a daft cow, a stupid bitch, but you needn't have worried. I had problems with my blood pressure, took on all this fluid. Finally, they got me to hospital just in time. The baby died, and they told me I was lucky to be alive. I could have told them better. And no more babies. That's what they said. No more babies.
Elaine, I'm sorry. I really am.
We clung on longer than we should. Oh, it was a mess, Charlie. In the end, pills and a weekly visit to the therapist weren't enough. They admitted me to hospital, and then there were still drugs, but more of them, and other kinds of treatment you don't even want to hear about, and I don't want to remember.
Elaine. You okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
But this may not be the right time to say this, but...
Don't. Whatever you were going to say, whatever promises, by morning you'd regret every word. If the phone's still where it used to be, I'm going to call a taxi.
No, I'll take you back.
You don't want to know where I'm going.
Oh, God.
It's okay. She just woke up and wondered where she was. Didn't you, pet? Here, I thought she could snuggle in with us for half an hour.
If ever I suggest that, you go on as if it's the end of the world.
I know. Real pain in the behind sometimes, me. I'm sorry. I'll put the kettle on again. What do you think? Cup of tea?
Kevin,
What?
you win the lottery or something.
No, it's just...
Just what?
When you were up at your mum's with Phoebe Sunday, and I was kicking my heels back here, I thought, suppose she never comes back. Stays there. You and the baby.
I wouldn't do that.
Sometimes I wouldn't blame you.
Oh, Kevin.
What?
Come here.
How about the baby?
We'll turn her back.
You didn't mind meeting here?
No, of course not.
At the hospital it might have been, well, awkward. And I suppose I really didn't want to come to the police station if it could be avoided.
Delia, it's fine. The tea's a lot better here at any rate.
You must let me pay.
What was it you wanted to talk to me about?
The other day, in the hospital, when you were asking me about Bernard, Mr. Salt, and Helen, I suppose I didn't tell you the truth. There was something between them, Bernard and Helen. There had been for years, although, of course, they'd been very discreet, and I don't think many other people knew about it. Nobody, in fact, except me.
Being close?
Yes, being close. One reason they would have kept it secret, Bernard was married.
Until recently?
And Helen, she thought... she'd been waiting for years and years for him to... The day before she died, Helen came to see him. Practically brushed past me. She was so angry. They had this awful row. Of course, they didn't think I heard, but it was difficult not to. She was, well, threatening him, I suppose.
Physically, do you mean?
Oh, no. What she said, what I understood, she meant to expose him.
Their relationship?
More than that. Professionally as well. She said he had no integrity, that when it came down to it, he would never take responsibility, take the blame.
And you know what she was referring to? Was it something specific?
Alan Imrie. He was an anaesthetist at the hospital. He died 2.5, almost 3 years ago. You'll be able to find out.
Delia?
Yes?
Thank you. You did the right thing.
Did I? That poor, sad woman.
Alan Imrie, sir. Committed suicide Christmas Day 3 years back. Sealed the inside of his garage door with masking tape. Switched on the engine of his Volvo.
Always was a reliable car.
Do we know why?
Depression, overwork, Balance of mind disturbed?
No, nothing specific.
Not here, not so far.
I mean, nothing linking his death to salt.
No, sir.
Okay, let's ask around. We've got the contacts, let's use them. Graham, you come with me. We'll take another crack at salt.
Moving pretty well.
For a man on crutches.
Well, I've seen slower in the Forest Front line.
Oh, I didn't know Cloughie was still playing. Oh, that's enough of that for now.
Tim, I wanted to ask you, what do you know about Alan Imrie?
The anaesthetist who gassed himself. Not very much. I just started. Very much the junior houseman on Bernard Salt's team. There was a lot of talk, though. Something about an operation that had gone wrong. I can't remember the details, but it was all pretty well hushed up. I do remember that.
Yes, it was a gallbladder op. Mid-April sometime. 8 months or so before Imrie's suicide.
So what went wrong?
Anaesthetic failure.
What's that?
You got your patient going into theatre, right? They have an intravenous anaesthetic to start them off, but that's not going to be effective for more than a few minutes. After that, they're breathing in a mixture of oxygen and anaesthetic gases. These send the patient to sleep, relax the muscles, numb all sense of pain. Now, once in a while, thankfully not often, but more so than you might like to think, the mixture goes wrong and only the muscle relaxant works.
Which means the patient's lying there, unable to move, and all the while...
Exactly.
And they can feel everything?
Not always, but sometimes, yes.
The knife and everything?
Yes. And, of course, they can't move. They can't scream.
Oh, it doesn't bear thinking about.
I guess that's why we don't, if we can avoid it. Shunt it to the back of our minds.
But you remember this case? The patient in question?
Oh, yes. I was his primary nurse once he was back on the ward.
Gallbladder operation, Mr. Salt, April 17th. This is the entry from the operating theatre record. A photocopy, of course. Time operation commenced, 11:42 in the AM. Time finished.
1:15 in the afternoon.
13:17.
Helen Minton was...
She was in the theatre, yes.
And something went wrong.
Yes.
With the anaesthetic.
Yes.
One thing I'd like to be clear about. In instances such as this, even though the patient can't signal his distress, are there no other signs which might be noticed?
There could be a rise in blood pressure, arrhythmia of the heart. The problem is that those are more commonly associated with other causes.
There's nothing more specific, then? Nothing that might be seen as a sign the patient's in all that pain?
The patient might perspire to an unusual degree. And sometimes, although their eyes are taped shut, there may be tears.
Whose responsibility would you say it was to observe these signs?
I suppose if I had to single out one member of the team, I would have to say the anaesthetist.
Not the surgeon.
There was some talk of the patient suing the hospital, the health authority, whatever. Cases like this, there always is.
And you don't know why, in this case, they decided not to take legal action?
Not really. It could be that when it came down to it, the patient didn't want to go through it all again in court. And you can bet that all kinds of pressure were being brought to bear behind the scenes.
Do you genuinely think it's going to do any good, dredging this all up now?
I don't know. Possibly not. But there are too many other things at stake.
You really think there's a connection with Helen's murder?
I think if people such as yourself had been forthcoming sooner, she may not have died at all.
I did not lie, Inspector.
You told one of my officers there was no connection between Helen Minton and yourself outside work.
That was over, done with.
It seems as if she didn't agree.
She was a sad, deluded woman.
And you do, of course, have an alibi for the time that she was killed.
Do I really need one, Inspector?
Well, we'll see.
Mr. Ridgemount, I'm Detective Sergeant Millington. This is Detective Constable Naylor. We'd appreciate it if you'd come with us to the police station to answer some questions.
What kind of questions? Is it Calvin? Has he done something? Have you arrested him?
Calvin's your son, Mr. Ridgemount.
My son? Yes, of course he's my son.
Well, it's nothing to do with him. You don't have to worry about that.
It's all this business out at the hospital, isn't it? That's what this is about.
Just come with us, Mr. Ridgemount, if you wouldn't mind.
Sarah?
God, you don't give up easily, do you?
Not in my nature.
Look, you take as much time as you want, Arthur. All right? You tell it in your own way.
I was lying there with my eyes taped shut and I couldn't move. They had this tube clamped into my mouth, taking the air down into my lungs. And they'd said before, you know, they'd give me this shot to put me under. A few seconds, you won't feel a thing. Next thing you know, you'll be back in recovery and it'll be all over. Oh, sure enough, I went right out, and when I came to, it's sudden, like those nights you're so tired your head's only just seemed to hit the pillow and you're awake again, and it's 8 hours later. So I wake up and I'm thinking, what'd she say this place was called? Recovery? Okay, that's where I am. Except there's still this tape over my eyes, and I work out I must still be in the theatre, and they're about to wheel me out. They don't wheel me out. Nobody wheels me out. Even without being able to see, I know there's these bright lights above me, this kind of hot blur you get after you've been looking at the sun too long, and I can hear voices. Not what they're saying, not clear, but voices. There are people there. And so I try and speak to them, ask what they think's going on. Only there's no way I can squeeze out as much as a single word. My head's panicking and I can't move a muscle. And then I know they haven't done the bloody operation yet. They haven't started, and I'm thinking, no, this can't be. It can't be going to happen. It can't be going to happen. And then it does. It's like wire being pulled clear through me. Thin wire, only it's hot. It's a piece of red-hot wire, and I swear I can hear the flesh tear when he pulls it through, and all that's left for me to do is pray for it to stop. Pray to die. But I won't die, and it won't ever stop. Ever. Stop.
Sure that's all you want? Bit of lemon?
I shouldn't be having anything at all.
You should have gone somewhere a bit livelier, Sarah. More style. We still could.
No, thanks. I'm going home to watch EastEnders. Wash out my uniform and have an early night, OK?
Sure. Where are you off to now?
The ladies. Is that all right?
Just so long as you're not slipping out the back way.
You could tell from their faces, the way they were all over me, fussing with this, fussing with that. The anaesthetist, the sister, Salt himself. They knew something had gone wrong, but they never said a thing to me. Not direct, never asked. And when finally they pulled the tube out of my mouth, all the time I'd been wanting to scream and shout. When they did that, and I couldn't get a sound to come out. Later, yes, back in the ward, I screamed and I called them butchers and barbarians, and then that nurse would come running and slide this needle into my arm. This'll make you comfortable, you say, take away the pain. And I'd tell him it's too late for that. And then he'd slide the needle home.
Do you want to rest, Arthur? Cup of tea? 10-minute break, maybe?
No, no thanks. I'd rather carry on.
Okay. Perhaps you could tell us how you felt after you were released from the hospital.
It was worse. Worse as it went along. I didn't dare go to bed at night. I didn't dare lie down. As soon as I did, I'd be waiting for it, the pain to start, so if I was lucky I fell asleep sitting up. And even then I'd scream. My wife, at first she'd come and try to calm me down, but if she went to touch me I'd scream all the more. Even Marjorie, my youngest, she was little then, she'd say to her mummy, "Why does Daddy shout at me like that? Why won't he let me be near him? Why does he hate me?" In the end they left me. And Calvin stayed. No matter what that boy's done, I'll always love him for that. He stayed by me when nobody else would.
These attacks on the people involved in your operation, Mr. Ridgemount, you haven't had anything to do with those?
No. Though in a way I wish I had.
Calvin Ridgemount, Kevin. Pick him up.
Right, Ian. This is as far as you go. I'm cutting off down here and you... Well, thanks for the drink.
A pleasure. Oh, just one thing.
What?
Tim Fletcher. You've been looking after him, right? I mean, he's on your ward.
What about him?
No matter what you do for him, how much physio and so on, he's never going to get his mobility fully back, is he?
Probably not. Why?
Just interested. Bye. See you later.
Tried to do a runner. The minute he cottoned on, Dipak had to shoulder charge him into a neighbour's hedge.
He's not hurt.
Strong lad, sir. Works out.
Training gear in that black bag he had with him. That and other things.
Well, you're not going to tell me you found a scalpel, are you?
Almost as good.
Letters written by Helen Minton the night she was killed, on her way to Poston when she was attacked. Chairman of the local health authority, chief administrator at the hospital, Salt's ex-wife.
Makes you wonder why he never destroyed them.
Happen, we'll find out.
Hello, Sarah. You said you fancied an early night.
You see, the one who killed himself, Imrie, he knew. He knew he had to take the blame. And when he did it, after it had been in the papers that he topped himself, my dad's pains got better. They went away. 6 weeks near enough. 7. Only then they came back worse, and I knew it was because they were still alive, the rest of them. At night sometimes Dad'd shout out their names. Salt's especially. That's why I was saving him for last.
Yeah, but why the wait then, Calvin? You know, between Alan Imrie taking his life and you beginning to do what you felt you had to do.
I wasn't strong enough, was I? Only a kid. I had to wait, train, get strong. And then when that Fletcher got...
Just a moment.
I knew it was the time. I knew that was the way.
It's important, Calvin. Now let me just be clear about what you're saying here. You were responsible for the attacks on Carl Doherty and Helen Minton, but not Tim Fletcher. Is that right?
Isn't that what I've just said?
Carew, we want him found fast. Kevin, Dipak, try where he lives. Graham, yes, Student Union Bar, Lynn, the hospital. Now!
Right. How did you get in?
Kitchen window. Not too hot on security, are you? Silly, really. Attractive woman like you. Living alone. Always running out on me, Sarah. Trying to. As if you didn't know any better. And I'm sure deep down inside, you really do.
Yes.
One of the nurses at the hospital says she saw Carew with Sarah Leonard earlier walking towards where she lives.
Right, get there fast. I'll meet you there.
Now, isn't this better? Oh, this nice big unsullied bed. So much more grown up than carpet burns on the landing floor. Oh, now. Why don't we stop all this stupid fighting? There! What I could never understand about Karen, how she didn't know a good thing when she felt one. Dumping me for a wimp like Fletcher. Whereas you're a real woman, mature. You know what's good for you. You bitch! You're blinding me! Bitch! You wait, I'm gonna kill you for that!
Sarah! Are you all right?
I think so. Yeah, I am now.
Carew?
Pretty much unconscious by the look of it.
All right, cuff him.
He's got a broken nose at least. You didn't do this with your fist.
No, bathroom scales.
Everything under control?
It is now, Graham. Haul this specimen off down the station. See he's charged with assault on Fletcher. Well, that'll do for starters.
Did he attack the others too? Carl and Helen?
No. No, what Carew did was out of jealousy, ego. The others, well, I suppose you could say in some strange way it came from love.
I don't understand.
No. Anyway, Lynn will stay with you. Take a statement as soon as you're up to it. Make sure you're all right.
Is it that easy?
No. Likely not, but after what you did, I'm sure you'll handle it better than most. All right? I'll send someone round. Fix this door.
Okay, thanks.
Are you all right?
A lot better than I might have been.
If you hadn't wielded the scales of justice, you mean? I could put the kettle on.
No, there's a bottle of gin in the cupboard, behind the brown rice.
Oh, is that instead of or as well as?
Aren't you on duty?
Well, as well as, then. Meantime, you'd best sit yourself down before you fall down. Once the adrenaline goes, you'll be lucky to stay on your feet.
Yes, Doctor.
Good result, then.
Is it, Graham?
2 of them, I should think. Both tied up on the same day.
Carew, maybe. But the other... Who's going to understand why that youth did what he did? And the father. And who's going to wake in the night and hear him screaming? Try to do something about the pain.
Not our job, Charlie.
No, maybe not. But whose is it? That's what I'd like to know.
Celebration, is it?
Sort of.
Right. Pork chops, kidneys, mashed potatoes, gravy. Didn't think you ate anything that don't fit between 2 slices of bread.
You could open the beer.
Not champagne, then?
All speckled hen.
Yeah, I popped in to see that Jane Wesley today. You know, Aloysius' house.
Oh, yeah.
More than her work cut out, chaperoning that place of an evening. All those blokes. So I thought I might start popping in there, sort of lend an hand.
To Jane?
Yeah. Anything wrong with that?
No. Nothing. No, nothing at all. As long as she's happy enough about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah. Good to get things sorted out in the open like. How about you?
How about me?
Well, you know, you and Elaine. Gonna be seeing her again?
Don't. Whatever you were going to say, whatever promises, by morning you'd regret every word.
No. No, I shouldn't think so.
Yeah. Maybe it's best, you reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
No sense living in the past.
No. None at all.
When I call, you don't hear me. When I speak, you don't understand. When I try to explain, you just turn away. Some things don't turn out as you plan.
In the third and final episode of Cutting Edge, dramatised from his own novel by John Harvey, Tom Georgeson played Charlie Resnick, Sean Baker, Millington, Kate Eaton, Lynn, Paul Bazeley, Dipak, and Ben Porter, Kevin. Dennis Hawthorne played Mr. Salt, Nicholas Boulton, Carew, John Simm, Dr. Fletcher, Jenny Stoller, Elaine, and Don McCorkindale, Silver. George Parsons played Arthur, Philip Weaver, Calvin, Gillian Bevan, Sarah, Patience Tomlinson, Suzanne Olds, Adrian Scarborough, Carl, Colleen Prendergast, Debbie, and Anne Beach, Delia. Other parts were played by members of the cast. The Cutting Edge song was written by Liz Simcock, played by Trevor Watkiss, and sung by Gillian Bevan. The director was David Hunter.